Hey you all, welcome to Just a Shinobi. Today, we dive into an exciting what-if scenario. What if Naruto was grow under the 8 inner gates? Part 2. Hope you loved Part 1. Hope you enjoy this, hit subscribe for more thrilling content. Explore my other videos, share with friends, enjoy them too, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. It motivates me. Let's not waste any time. Jump into today's what if. Chapter 19. Naruto was lying restlessly in the hospital bed. I think Ka-san is punishing me for thinking of using that jutsu. Naruto thought. Why did Hinata have to tell her? Naruto thought. Naruto-kun, it is time for your checkup. Shizen said, walking in. Hey Shizen-chan. Naruto mumbled. You sound depressed. Shizen stated. I hate hospitals. Naruto told her. No one really likes them, Naruto-kun. Shizen told him with a small smile. Ka-san is loving this, isn't she? Naruto asked as Shizen let out a giggle. Next time don't think about doing something so foolish. Shizen advised. I will do anything to protect the people I love. Naruto told her. I know you would be you. Naruto Uzumaki, you are requested by the Hokage immediately. An Umbu interrupted Shizen. What is it? Naruto asked seriously. Sasuke Uchiha has deserted the village. The Umbu said before vanishing. Naruto instantly threw his blankets off to show him wearing his shinobi gear. Shizen blinked at him. What? Naruto asked as Shizen shook her head. Just go. She told him as he leapt out the window. With Naruto, he was leaping as fast as he could across the rooftops trying to get to the Hokage tower. What are you thinking, Sasuke? Naruto thought as he kicked off another roof. Naruto burst through the window of the Hokage office and saw Shikamaru standing there. Good you are here. Tsunade said seriously. First I have something for you too. Tsunade added, pulling 2 Chunin vests out. You two are promoted to Chunin rank for what you two did during the invasion. Naruto, several Jounin and Umbu commented how you took charge. Shikamaru, you used your mind to incapacitate several enemy shinobi, and a lot of Jounin were impressed by you. She complimented. Your mission as newly promoted Chunin is to gather a team and go after Sasuke Uchiha and bring him back. Tsunade ordered. Yes ma'am. The two exclaimed. The two were about to leave when Tsunade placed her hand on Naruto's shoulder. I need to talk with Naruto for a second. Tsunade told Shikamaru. Yes ma'am. He said before leaving. Tsunade hugged Naruto. You had better come back to me, Naruto. Tsunade spoke into his hair. I will try, Ka-san. Naruto said, wrapping his arms around her. I have to get going. Naruto said as he unraveled from the woman. If it is either your life or his. Take his life, Naruto. Tsunade said as Naruto nodded. I will try to convince him first. Naruto said as he backed away from her and vanished in his void shunshin. With Shikamaru. Shikamaru was waiting outside for Naruto to appear when the area around him darkened to pitch black. It soon became bright again, and he saw Naruto standing next to him. What did Tsunade-sama want? Shikamaru asked. She wanted us to be careful. Naruto told him. Who are we going to have on our team? Naruto asked. I know the first person. Shikamaru said. Follow me. He ordered before leaping away. Who is it, Temari? Naruto asked and saw Shikamaru nearly lose his footing. Naruto let out a small chuckle as his fellow Chunin composed himself. No, it isn't that troublesome woman. Shikamaru said as the two came to a house. Shikamaru pulled a bag of chips out. Naruto, help me eat these. Shikamaru told him as Naruto shrugged and the two started to eat the chips. It didn't take that long for the two to get to the last chip. Naruto reached into the bag when a gust of wind nearly knocked him over. Naruto looked over to see Choji with the chip in his hand. No one eats the last chip but me, Choji said before sticking the chip into his mouth and munched on it. So what can I do for you two? Wow, I didn't know I mean big bone shinobi like you could move like that, Naruto said while quickly correcting himself in the middle. People mistake me for being slow, Choji said, pulling a bag of chips out of nowhere. Choji, we need you for a mission, Shikamaru said seriously, instantly gaining the boy's attention. What is it? Choji asked. Sasuke Uchiha has left the village, Naruto, and I have been charged in creating a team to go retrieve him, Shikamaru told him. This is an A-ranked mission, he told Choji. Meet at the northern gate, Shikamaru ordered as Choji nodded before both Shikamaru and Naruto vanished. Who is next? Naruto asked. Kiba and Akamaru, Shikamaru told him. I know you have a good nose, but it wouldn't hurt to have an experienced tracker on our team. He told Naruto, who nodded. I remember his sister Hana. Naruto said. I liked her a lot. I always brought hurt animals to her. You sure are troublesome, Shikamaru said. You can be so cold-blooded but at other times so caring. He mused. Hey, I am not cold-blooded, Naruto said. I only kill as a last resort. Naruto added. Anyway, that means you know the way through the Inuzuka compound? Shikamaru asked. More or less, Naruto told him. I can get us to the general location, but I don't know if I will be able to get us to the compound. Naruto added. I am sure they will smell us a mile away, Shikamaru said as they walked into the tall grass. Are you saying I smell? Naruto questioned as his eyes narrowed. Why are all blonde troublesome? Shikamaru asked as Naruto opened his mouth. So help me, if you answer that question I will use the shadow strangling jutsu on you, Shikamaru threatened when a puppy landed on Naruto's head. Hello, Akamaru? Naruto said as the dog barked happily. Naruto reached up and scratched the puppy behind his ear. Akamaru, where are you, buddy? The two Chunin heard Kiba call. Over here, Kiba, Naruto called. Hey, what are you guys doing here? Kiba asked. We have an A-ranked mission, Shikamaru said. Meet us at the northern gate if you want to come, he said before the two disappeared. They appeared outside of the compound and were running towards the Hyuga compound. Hinata? Shikamaru asked as Naruto shook his head. No, in a mission like this I would be too worried about her getting hurt, Naruto admitted. It would be like you and Temari, Naruto said as Shikamaru nodded unwittingly. I hate you, Shikamaru stated when he realized what he was doing. You are just one of many, Naruto told him as he knocked on the door. It didn't take long for Neji to answer it. I will get Hinata-sama, Neji stated. Actually, Neji, we need you on an A-ranked mission, Naruto told him as Neji's eyebrow raised. Meet us at the northern gate if you accept, Naruto told him before the two disappeared. Who was that Neji and I-san? Hinata asked. No one, Neji lied. I was just informed I have a mission, Neji told her. Okay, Hinata said. I hope I am doing the right thing by lying, Neji thought as he gathered his stuff. Northern Gate. Naruto and Shikamaru appeared at the gate at the same time as Choji. The three boys looked at each other waiting for the last two members to show up. Naruto, a girl called. Naruto turned to see Sakura running up to him. Is it true that Sasuke left the village? She asked. Yes, myself, Shikamaru, Choji, Neji, and Kiba are going to go and attempt to retrieve him, Naruto told her. I know you don't like him all that much, but you have to bring him back, Sakura said. I will try, Sakura, Naruto said as he saw Kiba and Neji walk leaping towards them. Sakura, do me a favor, Naruto said as Sakura nodded. Wait a while before tell Hinata where I am, Naruto told her seriously. I will do that, Naruto, Sakura said before hugging him. Please come back to us, she whispered into his ear. She released the hug as Lee walked up. Naruto motioned with his eyes for Lee to follow him, which he did. Lee, I want you to make me a promise, Naruto told the boy, who nodded. If for some reason I cannot come back, protect Hinata and Sakura with your life, Naruto told him seriously. I will die to protect them, Naruto-kun, Lee told him seriously. Heal fast, my friend, Naruto said as he grasped the boy's hand. Naruto walked back to the team while Shikamaru explained the mission to them. No wonder you wanted Akamaru and me on this team, Kiba stated cockily. Don't get me wrong, I wanted Jounin for this mission, Shikamaru told him seriously. There was evidence that Sasuke was not alone. We do not know the abilities, we are most likely at a disadvantage, Shikamaru told them. Neji, you will be in the middle, Naruto, you will take the back, Kiba the front, I will be after Kiba while Choji is in front of Naruto. Wouldn't Hinata be better? Since she also has tracking experience? Kiba asked. Normally yes, but Naruto will be too worried about her, Neji told him. We should get going, Naruto told them. Shut up, Naruto, you are not team leader, Kiba told him. I mean, Shikamaru is the one with the Chunin vest. A wind kicked up and blew his cloak up and over his shoulder. Oh look, I have one too, Naruto said sarcastically as he flipped the cloak back over his shoulder. Don't make assumptions, Kiba, it could get you killed, Naruto told him matter-of-factly as Kiba growled at him. Let's get moving, Shikamaru said as they all fell into line and leapt off. Sakura and Lee watched them go when Hinata walked out of the shadows, scaring the two. Hinata, Sakura exclaimed before grasping her chest. Sorry to scare you, Hinata said. Where did they go? On a mission, Sakura said vaguely. What is the mission? Hinata asked. I don't know. Sakura lied. Don't lie to me, Sakura, Hinata said dangerously. Sakura sighed. Sasuke has deserted Konoha, and Shikamaru and Naruto were charged to make a team to retrieve him. She told Hinata. You are not upset Naruto didn't tell you? Sakura asked cautiously. No, this is a common thing with shinobi, Hinata said as she turned and walked away. She took it well, Lee said. She is beyond pissed and worried, Sakura told him, which confused him. She doesn't want us to worry about her. How do you know that? Lee asked confused. Woman's intuition, Sakura told him. Now come on, let's get you back to bed, Sakura told him while leading him away. With Naruto, Naruto shivered and tensed a little. What is wrong, Naruto? Neji asked. I just got the feeling I don't want to go back to Konoha, Naruto said nervously. It is probably Nath. Neji shivered this time. I just got the feeling that something bad will happen to me when I get back, he said. Konoha. Hinata was currently sitting with Tenten in the Hyaga courtyard. Neji is on that dangerous of a mission and he didn't tell me, Tenten exclaimed enraged. Oh ho, when I get my hands on that boy. She trailed off as she pulled out a scroll. With the retrieval team, I feel completely fine, Kiba said when Akamaru started to whimper. Naruto and Kiba sniffed the air. Naruto, do you smell that? Kiba asked. Blood and a lot of it, Naruto said. I think a major fight broke out, Naruto told them. Do you think it was with the people we are chasing? Kiba asked. Most likely, Naruto said. Should we go investigate? Naruto asked. No, if the people we are chasing didn't fight them, then we will be wasting time, Shikamaru told him. And if they did fight, I imagine they will need to rest. We should get going, Shikamaru ordered as they nodded and leapt away. I see 4 people up ahead, they have large chakra reserves, Neji warned. They reek of blood, Naruto and Kiba said together. Akamaru whimpered a little. Akamaru isn't getting a good vibe of these people, Kiba said. I can smell something. Naruto trailed off trying to think of the correct word. Maniacal about them, Naruto finished as Akamaru yipped in agreement. We have to think of something, Neji stated. One of us should henge into one of them, Shikamaru said. That plan has a few flaws, Naruto told him. What if one of them can sense chakra? He asked. We will have to take that risk, Neji told him. And one of might get killed, Naruto told them. These aren't normal shinobi, they were able to sneak into Konoha and retrieve Sasuke. That is an incredibly difficult task in itself, but to get out with leaving little evidence is another, Naruto said. Like I told Kiba, assumptions will get us killed. Then what do you suggest? Shikamaru asked. We split into 2 groups, Naruto told him. 2 goes on ahead setting up as many traps as possible, while the other 3 stall for as much time as possible, Naruto told him. If I have to, I will kill them along with myself using the true Cyclone Dragon Jutsu. If it comes to that, run away, do not even try to stay, Naruto ordered. With my healing abilities, I have less than a 1% chance to live, Naruto told them, shocking them. Who will be sent to set up traps? Shikamaru asked. Kiba and Neji, Naruto told him. I will lead the attack against the 4 shinobi, Naruto said. Shikamaru, tried to hold them with your shadow possession jutsu for as long as possible, Naruto told him. Choji tried to keep the. He trailed off when he sensed them being surrounded. How did they know we were here? Naruto thought. They have found us, Naruto exclaimed as he pulled his katana out and slashed out a huge wind blade that sliced a boulder in half along with leaving a long gash on the ground. You seem to be strong, a big man with a mohawk said. You seem to be strong, the teen girl mocked him. What a load of shit. Young ladies shouldn't use such language, the big man replied. Shut the hell up, fat ass, the girl replied. Jirobo, Tayuya, be silent, a man with 6 arms told the 2. Let's just finish these brats off, Kidomaru, Tayuya said. Let me take them out, Jirobo said. Fine, but don't take so long to feed, Kidomaru told him as the other 3 leapt away. Naruto went to follow when he dodged a large boulder. You will have to finish me off first to get to them, Jirobo told them as he lifted a large rock out of the ground and threw it at Naruto. Naruto leapt back to the team when Jirobo appeared in front of them. Earth-style barrier, Earth prison dome of magnificent nothingness, he exclaimed as a large dome appeared over them. What is this? Kiba demanded. This is a special dome that allows me to eat all of your chakra. Jirobo called into the dome. This dome is indestructible, you cannot escape, and I will eat every last drop of your chakra. I don't think so, Kiba exclaimed. Piercing Fong! He yelled as he started to spin and hit all over the place. Damn it, stop, Kiba! Naruto yelled. What should I do? Naruto thought as he felt his chakra slowly leaking away. Kiba. I have an idea, Naruto said, interrupting Shikamaru. Naruto closed his eyes as he concentrated. Neji, what is he doing? Shikamaru demanded as Neji activated his Byakugan. His mouth dropped open in shock. Naruto is summoning forth an almost unimaginable amount of chakra. It is red and blue, Neji told them. If you want chakra, then take it, Naruto yelled as chakra started to become visible around him. What is this chakra? Jirobo thought. Naruto crouched. I am getting out of here, Naruto roared as he released even more chakra. His teammates watched as the walls started to crack under the unusual chakra. Suddenly the dome crumbled away. Naruto stood in the center of the debris with a blood-red chakra cloak covering him. Naruto took a deep breath and the chakra receded into the seal on his stomach. What was that power? Jirobo demanded. Something that you will never see again, Naruto told him as he went for the attack when Choji stopped him. You guys go ahead, Choji told them. Choji, Kiba, Naruto, and Shikamaru began. You need to catch up with the others, let me handle this guy, Choji said as he pulled out some wire with kunai on them. Expansion jutsu, Choji exclaimed as he grew and the kunai stuck out. Spiked human bullet tank, Choji exclaimed against as his limbs and head ducked into his torso. He instantly started to spin towards Jirobo. Let's go, Naruto said, sheathing his katana and leaping away with the rest coming right behind him. Stay alive, Choji, Naruto thought. Chapter 20. Jirobo watched Choji roll towards him at a fast speed. He held his arms out and caught Choji, making him slide backwards. Had that actually hurt a little? Jirobo mocked. How did he stop me? Choji thought as Jirobo lifted him up and threw him across the clearing. Choji dispelled the jutsu and landed on his feet. I got to think of something, Choji thought as he dodged to the side. He went through a few hand signs. Partial expansion both arms, Choji exclaimed as his arms turned into huge limbs. He brought both of his arms down on Jirobo with a sickening crunch. Choji let out a small smile, but he instantly frowned when he felt his fists being lifted. You are pretty feisty for a fat kid, Choji said. Back in Konoha, why does it feel like someone just insulted the one I love? Ino thought but shook it off and went back to tending to the flowers. With Choji, what kind of strength is this? Choji thought as his arms returned to their normal size. Choji leapt back and popped a few food pills into his mouth to replenish his chakra. I will have to beat him in taijutsu, Choji thought as he ran at the man. Oh, did I make Fatty mad? Jirobo asked sarcastically, making Choji mad. Choji made a left punch. Partial expansion right arm, Choji exclaimed as he punched Jirobo with his enlarged right fist, sending Jirobo flying backwards and slamming into several trees. Earth release, earth shaking palm, Jirobo exclaimed from above Choji. Choji instantly rolled to the left, dodging the attack, but got blown away by the force of the blow hitting the ground. For a fat kid, you are fast, Jirobo said. You shouldn't be talking, Choji said as he knelt on one knee. I am going to have to use them, Choji thought as he pulled out a case. What are those? Jirobo asked. This is the spinach pill, Choji said as he popped the green pill into his mouth and crunched down on it. His chakra instantly started to surge and he became slimmer. Partial expansion jutsu both arms, Choji exclaimed as both of his arms grew to 3 times his normal partial expansion jutsu. Choji slapped Jirobo into the air with one arm while slamming him into the ground with an insane amount of speed with his other arm. Choji kept on slamming his hands onto the ground where Jirobo was. His arms returned back to their normal size. Okay, I have to admit that one hurt, Jirobo said, standing up, shocking Choji. Earth style, earth mausoleum dumpling, Jirobo exclaimed as he lifted a massive piece of ground out of the ground. Choji stared in slight fear as the man heaved the giant piece of earth at him. Choji barely dodged to the side as the rock flew past him. He stood just in time to be kicked in the stomach, making him fly backwards through a tree. Choji rolled backwards and stopped on his hands and knees. He coughed up a little bit of blood. Choji could feel the chakra he gained from the spinach pills starting to leave him. This isn't good, Choji thought as he weakly stood just in time to be kicked again towards the clearing. Choji rolled across the ground. I will have to use it. Choji thought as he stopped rolling. Choji got into his knees as he pulled the box of pills out again. He popped the yellow pill into his mouth and chomped down on it. He felt his chakra surge to a high level again. He winced in pain a little. The effects are kicking in now. Choji thought as Jirobo attempted to kick Choji again, but he stopped the kick with his bare hand. Choji stood faster than Jirobo could see and kicked him into the air. Where did this strength come from? Jirobo thought as he flew into the air. Partial expansion left arm. Choji exclaimed as his left arm grew, allowing him to catch Jirobo, and slamming him head first into the ground. Earth style, Earth Mausoleum Dumpling. Jirobo exclaimed as he picked up another giant piece of rock and threw it at Choji, who easily knocked it away with his enlarged arm. Those jutsu won't do anything to me, Jirobo told Choji as he watched Choji starting to run at him while making hand signs. Super Expansion Jutsu. Choji yelled as he first grew to the regular expansion jutsu, making Jirobo smirk, but that smirk was instantly gone when Choji grew as big as a small mountain and landed on top of him. Choji smirked as he crushed everything under him. I. Choji's thought was stopped as he felt himself being lifted off the ground. Choji quickly became his normal size. He saw that Jirobo had strange marks growing on his skin. I can't believe you brought this out of me, Jirobo said as his skin started to darken and his hair started to grow. Hey, you just lost, Jirobo's distorted voice said. Choji felt the effects of the second pill setting in. This isn't good, Choji thought as Jirobo slammed his fist into Choji's stomach, making him fly backwards through several trees. His strength has increased, Choji thought as Jirobo appeared behind him, kicking him back into the clearing. Choji crashed into the clearing and rolled onto his back. I will have to use that pill, Choji thought as he weakly pulled the pill box out and looked at the red pill. I might not make it back after this, Choji thought. Flashback. A small plump boy was attempting to play with a few other kids. Let's play Shinobi, one of them yelled. Okay, the kids chimed happily. They split into groups. Okay, we will look first, the team captain said happily as the team started to count. The other team ran in all directions trying to find a hiding place. The plump boy was looking around when he saw someone from his team. He walked over to the boy. What are you doing? Go find your own place to hide, the boy said harshly. Go on, Choji, before you get us caught, he exclaimed quietly when two cardboard shuriken hit the two kids. Ugh, see what you did, he boy demanded. A little while later, looks like we won, the searching team said. That is because we were stuck with Choji, the other team leader said. He is the worst at this game, he added, making Choji feel even worse. Let's just play without him, the boy said harshly. A lazy-looking boy looked at the plump boy with mild interest. Then the teams will be uneven, the other team stated. So what? Whoever has Choji is at a disadvantage, the hiding team leader stated harshly. Choji started to walk away without speaking to the other kids. He was looking at the ground in sadness. I hate how they treat me like that, Choji thought sadly. He walked up some stairs that led to a roof with a covered bench. He sat on the bench by himself and took a bag of chips out and started too much on them. Your name is Choji, right? A lazy voice asked. Yeah, what is yours? Choji asked, making the boy sigh in boredom. My name is Shikamaru Nara, Shikamaru told him. Weren't you playing Shinobi with the others? Choji asked. Yeah, but it became too troublesome for me to play anymore, Shikamaru said, stuffing his hands into his pockets, and walked over next to Choji, and lay on the bench looking up at the clouds. This is much more enjoyable, Shikamaru told him, looking at the sky. It is a nice view, Choji stated, looking at the sky. Chip? Choji asked, handing Shikamaru a bag of chips. Shikamaru stuffed his hand into the bag and took a handful and slowly ate them. The two remained silent as they stayed there watching the clouds going by. Hello, Choji, a booming voice said. Hello, Dad, Choji said, looking up at the massive man. Who is your friend? Choji's dad asked. Oh, this is Shikamaru Nara, Choji said. Oh, Shikaku's boy? Choji's father asked. That is my father, Shikamaru said in a bored tone. Well, I am Chusa Akamichi, Choji's father, Chusa told Shikamaru. It is nice to meet you, Chusa-sama, Shikamaru said, lifting his head enough to look at the older man. Chusa is just fine, Chusa told Shikamaru. Anyway, we have to get going. Shikamaru, how about I take you home too? Chusa said as Shikamaru shrugged indifferently but stood nonetheless. They walked in silence to Shikamaru's house. Hey Choji? Shikamaru asked, gaining the plump boy's attention. Want to go there again tomorrow? He asked, surprising the boy. As sure. He stuttered back a little as he watched the lazy boy walk into his house. Flashback end. Hey, why did I remember my first time meeting Shikamaru? Choji thought as he continued to look at the pills. He looked at Jirobo, who seemed to moving in slow motion towards him. Choji slowly opened the third pill and pulled it out. The chili pill. Supposedly rumored to increase one's chakra 100-fold. Choji thought as he popped it into his mouth as time seemed to speed up. He bit into it, and felt an almost unlimited amount chakra surge through him. Earth style, earth-shaking palm. He exclaimed as he struck Choji. You miss me, Choji said from behind Jirobo. Jirobo quickly turned to see a now skinny boy with a chakra butterfly wing out of his back. Choji appeared in front of Jirobo and slammed his fist into Jirobo's stomach. There was a second delay before Jirobo went flying backwards. I wonder how long I have to live, Choji thought calmly as he slammed his foot on top of Jirobo's chest, making Jirobo's back create a crater under him. Choji started to focus all of the chakra into his arm as he walked towards Jirobo. Konoha, Ino gasped and dropped a vase of flowers as she grabbed her heart. What is this that feeling? Ino thought as the heartache soon went away. Sweetie, what is wrong? Inoichi asked his daughter. Just a slip-up, Daddy, Ino said calmly. That was so weird, Ino thought. Choji made it to Jirobo, who was attempting and failing to stand from the small crater. I will end this fight with the next attack, Choji stated. Butterfly bullet bombing. Choji yelled as he slammed his fist into Jirobo's stomach so hard that he turned Jirobo's bones to dust and his internal organs into liquid. Choji instantly grabbed his heart as he felt the poison of the chili pill kicking in. My only regret is that I couldn't tell Ino that I loved her, Choji thought sadly as he stumbled away from the body. He fell to his knees as butterflies started to fly around him. Choji watched the butterflies as his vision started to turn black as he fell onto his stomach. Goodbye, Shikamaru. Ino. Asuma-sensei. Dad. Mom. Choji thought as he lost conscious. Chapter 21. Naruto, Kiba, Neji, and Shikamaru were leaping away from Choji when the ground shook. What the hell was that? Kiba asked. Naruto sniffed the air. Choji's chakra is rising at an alarming rate, Naruto said, a bit worried. Choji wouldn't use those, Shikamaru thought doubtfully. Naruto's eyes widened when he felt another massive chakra surge. How crap, he just increased his chakra by at least 100 times. Naruto exclaimed worriedly. He did use them, Shikamaru said sadly. Used what? Neji asked. The Akamichi food pills, Shikamaru told them. They are 3 pills, each making the user more powerful with each pill taken. But each one poisons the user, Shikamaru told them. The weakest is the spinach pill. It is survivable along with the second pill, the curry pill, but you would need immediate medical help. But the last pill, the chili pill, has an almost guaranteed death warrant on it, Shikamaru said sadly. If he used that one and doesn't get immediate medical attention from Tsunade-sama, he will most likely die. Naruto placed a hand onto Shikamaru's shoulder. I am sure Choji will live. He is one of the strongest people I know of, Naruto told him. You are right, Shikamaru said. Guys, there is something wrong, Neji said as he saw chakra all around them. What is it? Naruto asked as Neji deactivated his Byakugan. We are surrounded by chakra, Neji told them. You have some good eyes, boy, a man with 6 arms told him. I am Kidomaru and I will be killing you, Kidomaru told them as he spit a huge web at them. Naruto was able to slice through a portion of the web, but his left leg and arm was stuck in it. Naruto growled at the older man. That is a nifty sword, maybe I should take it, the man said as he spit out a string and it wrapped around the blade. I wouldn't do that, Naruto warned before a large lightning bolt flew out of the tip of the blade and hit the man, making him fly backwards into some trees. Naruto took the blade and slashed at the webbing, holding his arm and leg in place. Naruto ripped his arm and leg from the webbing just in time to be hit in the chest by a web, sending him into a tree. Naruto struggled to get free but could only move his arms a little. Damn, this isn't good, Naruto thought as he tried to get free. Naruto is stalling for time. But why? Shikamaru thought. This webbing has chakra running through it, Neji thought as he looked at it with his Byakugan. He concentrated a little chakra into his fingers and sliced the webbing cleanly. Naruto knew how this was made, but he couldn't make a chakra needle small enough to cut it. Neji thought as he silently went to Shikamaru and easily cut him down. Be quiet. Neji told him quietly as they went to the struggling Kiba. Naruto was still struggling against the webbing as the man got closer to him. Naruto suddenly stopped struggling and smirked. What is so funny, boy? Kidomaru demanded. Just this. Naruto said as he poured chakra into his cloak, making it heavier. The webbing started to strain against itself before completely snapping. Naruto wiped the stray pieces of webbing off his shoulder. Naruto leveled his katana with Kidomaru ahead. Naruto, let me fight him. Neji told him as he stepped in front of Naruto. Okay, Neji. Naruto said. Don't die, Tenten and Hinataheim will not like that. Naruto whispered to him as he shifted his katana and leapt away after Kiba and Shikamaru. Splitting up won't help you, Kidomaru told him. Sakan, Yukon, and Tayuya are the three strongest of us. Kidomaru told him with a vicious smirk. There is no way they will live. Neji didn't reply but just dropped into the Hyaga gentle fist style. I will not lose, Neji told him. As he charged at Kidomaru and started to jab at him, attempting to shut his chakra down. Kidomaru easily dodged Neji's attacks. He is as nimble as Hinata-sama. Neji thought as he struck at him again at the same time as he did a roundhouse kick, catching Kidomaru by surprise. The gentle fist style doesn't have any kicks, Kidomaru exclaimed. Hinata-sama and I have been adding kicks into it, Neji told him as he went into a series of attacks. Kidomaru was now blocking and dodging the lethal hits Neji was dealing. Neji instantly lowered his stance. 8 trigrams 64 palms, Neji exclaimed as he hit Kidomaru. 2 palms, 4 palms, 8 palms 16 palms, 32 palms 64 palms, Neji exclaimed as he scored every consecutive hit. Kidomaru slid backwards and slumped over. You are not that strong, Neji said as Kidomaru straightened himself. His skin was cracking and falling off. You broke my shell, Kidomaru said as his skin fell off. I have webbing covering my body to prevent myself from getting hurt, Kidomaru told him. How am I going to beat him? Neji thought as he watched him bit his thumb. Summon! Kidomaru yelled as a giant spider appeared. I would like you to meet the queen of the spiders, Kidomaru said, indicating to the giant spider. Its thorax started to open and hundreds of small spiders started to fall on him. Kaiten! Neji exclaimed as he started to spin, creating a dome of chakra around him. Neji threw off all the spiders that fell onto him. Neji stopped spinning as the giant spider hissed at him. She doesn't like that you killed her babies, Kidomaru stated calmly as the spider descended a little, releasing a lot more spiderlings. I will not be able to use the Kaiten to block all of them, Neji thought when Hinata's training came into his mind. I hope this works, Neji thought as he looked up at the falling spiderlings and he lowered his stance. What is that stance? It is lower than his previous attack, Kidomaru thought. Neji lengthened his chakra needles into long whips. 8 trigrams 128 palms, Neji exclaimed as he started lashing out at the spiderlings with his chakra whips. An even more advanced attack? Kidomaru thought. 2 palms 4 palms 8 palms 16 palms 32 palms 64 palms, and 128 palms. Neji yelled as he unleashed the final attack, slashing all the spiders in half and cut off 2 of the Spider Queen's legs, making it teleport back to its home plane. Neji stood up as the last of the spiders fell around him. He let out a breath and looked at the man. You weren't called the strongest rookie of the year for nothing, Kidomaru said as he started to spit orange webbing at him. Neji dodged to the side and he heard the webbing hit the tree behind him. Neji turned in time to see a tree falling over. This is my densest webbing. It is stronger than steel and I can manipulate it to any shape I want, Kidomaru said as he started to leap around Neji, who was dodging every attack. If he continues this, he will find the blind spot, Neji thought as he barely dodged an attack. I have to hit him again, Neji thought when he saw Kidomaru stop. Neji capitalized and ran at him in a low stance. 8 trigrams empty palms, Neji exclaimed as his palm connected with Kidomaru's stomach, making him cough up blood and fly backwards. That should have finished him off, Neji thought, but heard Naruto's advice about not making assumptions. I cannot believe you brought this out of me, Kidomaru said as he stood and had strange black marking growing across his skin. His skin started to change colors and darken while he grew horns. Are you scared? Kidomaru asked. Nope, Neji said calmly. He could see the tainted chakra running through Kidomaru's system. That chakra isn't normal, Neji thought. I have figured out your weakness, Hyaga boy. Kidomaru started as he started to spit daggers at Neji from all directions. Kaiten! Neji exclaimed as he started to spin and kept it up till the last webbing dagger hit it and bounced off. Neji was starting to breath hard from the exertion from the battle. I don't know if I have enough chakra to beat him, Neji thought as he started to back up and started to run away, trying to lure him as far away from the rest of his team as he could. With Kidomaru, he started to spit out some of his silk and turned it into a bow. Spider bow, fierce bow, Kidomaru said as he spit out a long arrow and shot some silk towards some trees to keep him from falling. He pulled the string as far back as he could and released the arrow. He watched as the arrow stayed on target, but Neji dodged behind a tree and the arrow launched through it, narrowly missing his shoulder. Seems my arrow was diverted by the trunk of the tree, Kidomaru said as he spit out another arrow. This one had a spiral cone for a tip. He watched Neji starting to run again as he pulled the arrow back and released it. He watched with satisfaction as the arrow blasted through trees. I won't be able to dodge it like before, Neji thought as he deflected the arrow with his chakra and made it go through his shoulder. He winced in pain from the arrow ripping through his shoulder. He watched the arrow hit the ground and create a large crater. I won't be able to take another hit, Neji mused. He saw it coming, Kidomaru said, thinking back to when he was launching the daggers at him and remember the one that narrowly missed him. So I have to keep the arrow in that blind spot. Kidomaru mused as he spit out another arrow, but this one had a web attached to the back so he could control it. Kidomaru pulled back the string and released it as Neji started to stagger away. Kidomaru was maneuvering the arrow to stay in Neji's blind spot till the last second. The arrow grew ever closer to the retreating Konoha shinobi. Neji suddenly turned and took the arrow into and through his stomach. He forgets I can see chakra, Neji thought weakly as he grabbed the string and forced his chakra into it and back to Kidomaru. Neji watched Kidomaru cough up blood and Neji cut the string with his chakra and used what little strength he had to leap into the air. He was panting with blood dripping from his mouth. 8 trigrams? 128 palms, Neji panted out before releasing his attack on the defenseless shinobi. 2 palms. 4 palms. 8 palms. 16 palms. 32 palms. 64 palms. 128 palms. Neji was able to finish the attack on the now dying man. The two landed on the ground in a heap. I have to survive for Tenten, Neji thought as he forced himself to his feet through his sheer will to see Tenten again. Neji was stumbling away from the dead shinobi with blood freely flowing from his shoulder and stomach. Neji made it to a tree. As he turned, he leaned against it and slid down to the ground as his eyes started to close. He could feel his strength leaving him by the second. Here is another one, and he is in bad condition, was the last thing Neji heard before losing complete consciousness. Chapter 22. Naruto suddenly growled in anger. What is wrong? Shikamaru asked. I can't feel Neji's chakra anymore, Naruto told him. Neji was considered the strongest genin in Konoha. I am sure he just used too much chakra, Shikamaru told him. I doubt it, a voice said. Kidomaru could beat him easily. Everyone looked at the man in front of them. Both Kiba and Naruto were smelt 2 cents coming from the guy. You two go on ahead, Kiba said, determined. Akamaru and I will handle him. Hinata and Shino would never forgive me if you die, Kiba, Naruto told him. I won't die, Naruto, Kiba said as he watched his friends leap away. Strong words for someone who will die, the man said. Oh, and by the way, I am Sakan and I am the leader of the Sound 4, Sakan stated as Kiba gulped. Come on, boy, Kiba said. Kiba made a hand sign. Beast mimicry, Kiba exclaimed as his features started to become more feral. Piercing Fang, Kiba yelled as he started to spin and flew towards the man. Kiba knocked the guy back. As Kiba stopped spinning, he leapt back to Akamaru. Sakan ran at the two, kicking Akamaru away from Kiba and dealing a devastating blow to Kiba's stomach. That attack almost hurt, Sakan said. God, I couldn't see him, Kiba thought as he weakly stood and charged at Sakan, and he easily dodged all of Kiba's attacks. I can't hit him, Kiba thought as he barely ducked under a wide kick but was suddenly punched in the jaw, making him skid away. Kiba saw Akamaru sneaking behind Sakan. Brother, the dog is coming up behind us, a second voice said, shocking Kiba. Thanks, Yukon, Sakan replied as he turned his back to Kiba. Piercing Fang, Kiba exclaimed as he started to spin towards the back of Sakan. An arm shot out of Sakan's shoulder, stopping Kiba dead in his tracks, and threw him over to Akamaru. Kiba twisted in the air and landed on his feet in a crouch. Akamaru leapt onto Kiba's back. Man-beast clone, Kiba exclaimed as Akamaru turned into a feral version of Kiba. Come on, Akamaru, Fang over Fa, Kiba yelled as the two started to spin and danced around Sakan and Yukon trying to hit them. Brother, why aren't you finished with them? Yukon asked, irritated. But brother, this is too much fun, Sakan replied. Can I at least play a little longer? Fine, but you had better not wake me again, Yukon said as both Kiba and Akamaru hit Sakan, Akamaru low and Kiba high. The dual attack made Sakan fly backwards. He was able to twist in his flight and land safely on his feet. You almost woke brother, Sakan said. Like I care. Kiba growled as he and Akamaru both started to circle them. Kiba pulled a kunai out and threw it at Sakan. Kiba smirked as the kunai almost hit Sakan when an arm came out of Sakan's shoulder and caught the kunai. Brother, it is time to end this now, Yukon said. But brother, I haven't had my fun yet, Sakan complained. There are still the other two brats, Yukon told him, and that seemed to placid Sakan a little. Fine, we can kill him now, Sakan said as he charged at Kiba. Multiple punches, Sakan exclaimed as four fists continually collided with Kiba until he was thrown back from the force of the attack. I can't be beaten by them, Kiba thought weakly as Akamaru leapt over to him. Kiba was able to stand. Let's go, Akamaru! Fong over Fong! Kiba yelled as both of them started to spin and fly towards Sakan and Yukon. The two attacks were stopped by Sakan and Yukon. Multiple kicks, Sakan exclaimed as three legs kicked out and connected with Kiba and Akamaru. The force of the kicks dispelled the clone jutsu placed on Akamaru. Akamaru skidded to a stop next to Kiba. Kiba was panting as a second head formed on Sakan's shoulder. Brother, can we use it? Sakan asked. Yes, we can, Yukon told Sakan, who grinned as marks started to spread around their faces and exposed skin as it darkened and the two head grew horns. I just learned the technique, Kiba thought as he popped a food pill into his mouth at the same time he threw one at Akamaru, who chomped onto it. Akamaru used dynamic marking, Kiba ordered as Akamaru disappeared and appeared above the two shinobi and peed on them while spinning. Why the hell did he piss on us? Sakan yelled as Akamaru appeared on Kiba's back. That weak clone won't work against us, Sakan stated with a smirk. Good thing we aren't doing a clone jutsu, Kiba said as he made a hand sign at the same time as his features started to grow more feral. Man-beast combination transformation, double-headed wolf, Kiba yelled as a massive puff of smoke appeared. As it cleared, a giant white double-headed wolf was standing in front of them. One of its paws was on a rock pillar. Fong wolf Fong, Kiba exclaimed as they formed a large spinning cyclone. Sakan barely dodged him but got a deep gash on his arm. We are spinning so fast that we could miss you, but the wind will still cut you, Kiba said in a deep voice. This doesn't look good, brother, Sakan stated. Fong wolf Fong, Kiba yelled as he started to spin again, and this time he hit the two brothers right in the middle of their bodies, splitting them in half. Kiba and Akamaru came to a skidding halt behind the two. I think he thinks he has one brother, Sakan said as limbs burst from his body along with his brothers. What are these two? Kiba thought as he looked at the scaly body of the newly grown half. Kiba and Akamaru growled at the two as they stood. I can only do this attack one more time before we have to release the jutsu, Kiba thought as he looked at the two. Fong wolf Fong, Kiba yelled as he spun towards the two. What should we do, brother? Sakan asked. You know damn well what to do, Yukon said as the two bit their thumbs and went through a few hand signs. Summon! The two yelled as a giant wall appeared and Kiba and Akamaru hit the wall full force, leaving a massive dent in it. Wow, that is some attack. He dented Rashomon, Yukon stated as the wall puffed away at the same time as Kiba and Akamaru's jutsu was released. Kiba grabbed Akamaru, and the two fell to the ground. Kiba landed on his back behind a boulder. I don't know if I will be able to beat them if they were able to beat my strongest attack, Kiba thought as he took his coat off and placed Akamaru in it. Please be okay, Akamaru, Kiba pleaded as he stood and walked out from behind the boulder to face the Sakan. Where is Yukon? Kiba thought as he charged at Sakan, ready to punch him when two arms wrapped around his arm. Kiba saw two arms had grown out of his bicep and held his arm back. This is our Kekai Genkai. Brother is able to enter his opponent's body and control it, Sakan stated as he walked towards Kiba. This isn't good, Kiba thought when he clutched his other fist. He can only control that side, Kiba thought when he heard a bark and saw a blur of white fly past him as Akamaru peed in Sakan's eyes, burning him. H! Sakan screamed as he rubbed his eyes. Go wash your eyes, fool, Yukon told him as Sakan stumbled towards the river. Kiba slid a kunai out of his pouch without Yukon noticing. You can control that part of my body but not this side, Kiba said as he stabbed himself in the stomach, and both Yukon and Kiba winced in pain. And you share my body, Kiba stated as blood dripped from his mouth. Yukon fell from Kiba, clutching his stomach in pain. Kiba weakly grabbed the once again unconscious Akamaru and stumbled away as Sakan washed his eyes out. Kiba walked into the water and started to swim with Akamaru on his head. With Sakan and Yukon, Sakan had just finished washing his eyes when he heard a groan of pain. He quickly turned to see Yukon lying on the ground in a pool of blood. Brother! Sakan yelled as he went to his brother. Took you long enough. Yukon grumbled angrily as he sunk into his brother's body. I will need a lot of rest. I am going to make that brat pay, Sakan stated as he saw Kiba's coat peeking out from behind a boulder. He smirked viciously and snuck up to it. He leapt around the corner to see that it was just the coat. He smirked and picked it up and placed it on. He won't be able to smell me now that I smell like him, Sakan thought. With Kiba, Kiba had a branch held in his hand as he floated down the river. It will be all right, boy, Kiba said quietly as he made his way to the shore. He pulled himself up onto the shore and stumbled into the forest. Kiba sniffed the air and could smell a person nearby. Who is that? Kiba thought as he stumbled along. I hope it is someone to help me, Kiba thought as he leaned his back against a tree and slid down as he closed his eyes. I will just rest for a second, Kiba said aloud. Kiba's sensitive ears heard something coming up on him. So he has found me already, Kiba thought as he stayed there with his eyes closed. I am going to kill you for hurting my brother, Sakan stated. I was aiming to maim him, Kiba replied half-heartedly. Oh, and you should know that the Inuzuka clan also has heightened hearing along with smell, Kiba told him when he heard clicking noises. So it is the puppet boy, Kiba thought as he saw a puppet appear behind Sakan. Sakan didn't notice until cloth wrapping wrapped around his body, pulling him into the puppet. Secret black technique, Iron Maiden, a voice said as other pieces of puppets with blades stabbed into Black Ant's torso, stabbing and killing Sakan as blood seeped from the puppet. Geez, you Konoha shinobi sure have a sick sense of fun, Kankuro joked. Thanks, Kankuro, Kiba said with a smirk as Kankuro helped Kiba up. There are some medics nearby. Tsunade-sama sent Lee ahead of us to help you guys. Neji Hyaga and Choji Akamichi are in serious conditions, Kankuro told Kiba as he helped him over to some of the medics. Who else did Tsunade-sama send? Kiba asked. Gaara and Temari, Kankuro said. Shikamaru's girlfriend? Kiba asked, making Kankuro blink. Temari is Shikamaru's girlfriend? Kankuro asked, confused. I thought she despises him. You know what, I am not even sure they are going out. It is just I saw them having dinner together a while back and assumed they were dating, Kiba admitted as they made it to the medic camp to see medics attempting to stabilize Neji and Choji. A medic came up to him. Go to my friends, they need your help more, Kiba told the woman. But you were stabbed, she stated. It was self-inflicted, just give me some plasma pills and bandages. I am sure Kankuro and I could bandage the wound up, Kiba said. Who said I would help? Kankuro exclaimed. I just volunteered you, Kiba said with a smirk. I hate you, dog boy, Kankuro stated as the medic came back with a few bandages and a handful of plasma pills. Kiba lifted his shirt. Puppet boy, hold my shirt up, Kiba told him as he took a couple plasma pills and wrapped the wound up. What about the puppy? The medic asked. I will take him, a voice said from behind the two. You have done something stupid, pup, a second voice stated as Kiba stated to sweat. Kankuro turned and almost shit himself at the sight of the two women. Hello, Nechan Ka-san? Kiba mumbled, just as scared as Kankuro, if not more. What have you done to Akamaru? Tsum demanded as Hana took the puppy and started to check him over. We had to do anything to at least stall for time for Shikamaru and Naruto to catch up with Sasuke and the girl, Kiba defended himself. Tsum looked at her son with a critical eye, making him start to sweat. Good answer, pup, but if you ever risk your life like this again, and you survive, I will kill you myself, then have Tsunade-sama revive you so Hana-chan can take her turn at kicking your ass. Tsum threatened her son. Kidomaru, take Kiba and Akamaru to Konoha immediately, Tsum ordered. Okay, Tsum-chan, Kidomaru said as Kankuro's mouth dropped open and he fell backwards unconscious. I think I scared the pup, Tsum-chan, Kidomaru stated, looking at the unconscious Suna shinobi. It isn't every day someone hears a dog talk, Tsum stated as she watched her old partner, Kiba, Hana and Akamaru leave towards Konoha. Tsum-sama, where are the next people? A medic asked. Tsum sniffed the air. Follow me, Tsum ordered as she leapt away with 6 medics close behind. Original Chapter 23. Naruto and Shikamaru were leaping towards the last member of the Sound Four who was also carrying Sasuke. They saw her stop and Naruto attempted to capitalize when she stopped when another man appeared out of nowhere and grabbed the barrel. Kidomaru-sama. Tayuya stuttered. You were late, Tayuya. Kidomaru stated to the slightly shaken girl. We had trouble, Tayuya said worriedly. I will be taking Sasuke-sama to Orochimaru, Kidomaru told her as he hoisted the barrel onto his shoulder and leapt away. Naruto immediately went after the man before Shikamaru or Tayuya could stop him. You know that kid is going to die, Tayuya told him. He was cute too, Tayuya stated with a small pout. Naruto is strong. And he has a girlfriend, Shikamaru told her. You don't get it, Tayuya stated when she pulled the flute out. Kidomaru-sama beat all four of us at once without even trying, Tayuya told him. And you do not know Naruto's power, Shikamaru told Tayuya. No one in Konoha can know how powerful he is. Tayuya sighed. You know, if you surrender I am sure Orochimaru-sama would let me keep you, Tayuya stated. You are kind of cute too, she said. Sorry, but Temari-chan wouldn't like that, Shikamaru replied with a bored tone as Tayuya growled. Why are all the cute ones taken? She asked herself. Well, it is time to kill you, Tayuya stated as she started to play her flute. Shikamaru leapt back not knowing what to do. What does she specialize in? Shikamaru thought as he looked bored at the girl. He was collecting all the data he could on the girl. Could it be high-pitched noise that immobilizes the opponent? Shikamaru thought as everything around him started to turn black. Genjutsu, Shikamaru thought as he attempted to sense for Tayuya's attack. He bit his lip to dispel the genjutsu but nothing happened. Shit, as long as she is playing that flute I can't dispel the genjutsu, Shikamaru thought before stomping on his own foot. The pain shot through him and dispelled the genjutsu. You are cleverer than I thought, Tayuya said, pulling her lips away from the flute. But the Naros are known for their almost unrivaled intelligence, Tayuya said. But that will not save you, Tayuya said as she started to play another song. This one was faster paced. Is she casting another genjutsu? Shikamaru thought when his senses started to go haywire and he leapt to another branch as a club crushed the branch he was standing on. Shikamaru looked at the three demon-looking creatures. What are those things? Shikamaru thought when he dodged a downward slash from the creature with claws. These are my doki, Tayuya stated as she stopped playing temporarily. She changed the tempo and the one with the club started to attack Shikamaru. He kept on dodging the club. Shikamaru started to run away from Tayuya and hid in a branch's foliage. He watched warily as the creatures started to search around for him. I have to think of something, Shikamaru thought as he saw two of the creatures searching for him. Wait, where is the third one? He thought before leaping forward and the branch was turned to splinters. Damn, that was close, he thought as he looked at the creature with the club. He suddenly ducked under a kick from the armless one. I am at a serious disadvantage, Shikamaru thought. It is useless to fight, Tayuya said, and Shikamaru noticed something. But suddenly the tempo increased and something transparent with mouths started to come out of the creatures' mouths. This isn't good, I don't know what that will do, Shikamaru thought as he narrowly missed one of the transparent things. Shikamaru threw a kunai at Tayuya trying to stop her playing, but the creature with the club blocked the kunai with its club. Damn, he thought when one of the transparent things went through his arm and he felt a large portion of chakra drain from him. Those mouths eat a person's chakra, Tayuya said quickly before continuing to play her flute. This just became harder, Shikamaru thought as he dodged another swipe from the club and bent an almost impossible way to dodge the mouths. This is becoming too troublesome, he thought dryly before leaping away from the creatures to hide again. He went into some foliage again. I have 9 moves at most to beat her, Shikamaru thought as he looked around quickly surveying the land. 1. Shikamaru thought as he threw a kunai with a flash bomb attached to it. 2, 3, 4. Shikamaru thought as he threw 3 kunai at the demons. Tayuya moved them close together. 5. Shikamaru thought as he threw a kunai at the string connecting the flash bomb to the kunai, slicing it. 6, 7, and 8. Shikamaru thought as his shadows connected with the demons at the same time the flash bomb went off. Shikamaru leapt behind the 3 demons. And 9. He thought as he placed his hands on his knees and the 3 demons were compelled to mimic him. Tayuya didn't notice the connecting shadows and she started playing her flute again. What is going on? She thought. They are under my control now, Shikamaru stated as he took a step forward and the 3 creatures did the same as him. Tayuya growled at Shikamaru and dispelled her creatures. Shikamaru leapt at Tayuya and slashed upward with his kunai, slicing the flute in half. Shikamaru instantly started to go through hand signs. Shadow neck bind! Shikamaru exclaimed as shadow hands started to creep up Tayuya's body, stopping her completely. I have to break his jutsu, Tayuya thought as she desperately tried to move. She is resisting even while we are this close. Shikamaru thought. It is useless since we are this close. Shikamaru stated calmly. It isn't over. Tayuya struggled out as the hands wrapped around her throat. I will have to use that, she thought distastefully as her skin started to darken, her eyes started to become inverted while horns started to grow out of her head. What the hell happened to her? Shikamaru thought as he felt her resisting his jutsu even more, and it started to recede. Damn, she is a lot stronger now. Shikamaru thought as his jutsu released one of her arms, and she punched him in the chest, making him slide backwards. When Shikamaru looked up, Tayuya finished a set of hand signs. Death by pleasure! She exclaimed as Shikamaru's mouth dropped open and he fell to his knees. Hey bitch, leave my man alone! An angry feminine voice yelled as a great gust of wind slammed into where Tayuya was. Temari floated to in front of Shikamaru and kicked him as hard as she could break the genjutsu. You know you didn't have to kick me, Shikamaru said, standing up, and did a quick set of hand signs, and his shadow shot at Tayuya, connecting with hers and holding her in place. I can't hold her for long. Don't worry, Temari stated as she looked at his hand to see a broken finger. He broke his finger to break the genjutsu as he fell. Temari thought as she bit her thumb and wiped blood onto her fan. Summoning blade dance! Temari exclaimed as she gave a huge heave of her fan, and a one-eyed sickle-wielding weasel appeared and started to ride the tempest that Temari made with her fan. Shikamaru had covered his eyes as he heard destruction everywhere around him. Once everything died down, Shikamaru opened his eyes to see Temari leaning against her now closed fan. I should never make her mad, Shikamaru thought. So I am your man? Shikamaru asked as he saw Temari's ears start to darken. Why, you heard that? Temari's voice cracked at the beginning. I don't mind, Shikamaru stated as Temari whirled around to face him. She went to hug him when Shikamaru made a hand sign and his shadow launched under her. She looked behind herself to see Tayuya being held up by 4 shadow spikes. Wow, she was tough, Temari stated as Shikamaru nodded. She turned back to Shikamaru and she became something that Shikamaru thought she would never be, timid. Does this make me your girlfriend? She asked with several emotions evident on her voice, hope, fear, and something else he didn't know. How about we go on a date? Shikamaru asked as the girl became giddy. Shikamaru shook his head as Sam burst through the trees. Shikamaru, are you okay? Sam asked. Just a broken finger, and a few cuts and bruises, Shikamaru told her. I have to go help Naruto, he added quickly. Sorry, Shikamaru, Tsunade-sama ordered that all injured must return to Konoha no matter how simple they are, Sam told him. Do not worry, we have sent many people to help your team. Shikamaru reluctantly accepted thanks to a very persuasive argument from Temari. Original Chapter 24. Naruto was leaping towards the man. I have to get that barrel back, Naruto thought as he drew slowly closer to the pale man. There is something off about him too, Naruto thought as the two burst into a large field. Give me Sasuke now and I will let you live, Naruto stated as the man calmly set the barrel down. I don't think I will do that. Orochimaru-sama would be very upset with me, he said calmly. Then I will take it by force, Naruto said as he charged forward and pulled his katana out. Naruto swung his katana at Kidomaru and it connected with a solid piece of bone that protruded from his palm. Naruto was slightly shocked from the weird bone dagger. This is my clan's Kekkei Genkai, Kidomaru stated as he pulled the bone out to reveal a piece of bone the length of a broadsword. It allows me to grow and harden my bones, Kidomaru stated as he slashed at Naruto, who blocked it expertly and dealt a counter to the attack that was blocked by Kidomaru. You are very skilled with that blade, Kidomaru complimented him. Thanks, Naruto replied as he added his wind element to his blade, and he slashed out, slashing a good chunk out of the bone sword. Naruto leaped back a little. I will have to wear him down, Naruto thought as he crossed his fingers. Multi-shadow clone jutsu, Naruto exclaimed as hundreds of clones appeared and they converged on Kidomaru. The real Naruto stood back and watched the fight as plumes of smoke were appearing everywhere. After 15 minutes of constant fighting, all the clones were gone. Orochimaru-sama warned me about you, Kidomaru stated. He told me you were the Jinchuriki of Kyuubi no Kitsune. Yes, that is true, Naruto told him. Then we are similar, for we were hated for something that was out of our control. Kimimaro stated. I have come to terms with my burden. Naruto stated. He is stalling for time. Naruto thought as looked at the man. Suddenly tainted chakra started to surge from the barrel. He is awakening, Kimimaro said. Naruto turned his attention to the barrel to see purple chakra swirling around it before he was blinded by bright white light. Naruto instinctively covered his eyes until the light died down. Naruto uncovered his eyes and saw Sasuke with the curse mark active. This isn't good, Naruto thought when suddenly Sasuke ran off. Naruto went to follow, but Kimimaro got in the way. I cannot let you get Sasuke-sama, Kimimaro told Naruto. Dynamic entry! A voice yelled, followed by a fast-moving spinning green blur, and kicked Kimimaro in the side of the head, making him fly away from Naruto. Naruto-kun, you should go after Sasuke, Lee stated. Lee, what are you doing? Naruto questioned. I was sent to help you, Lee said to Naruto, even though he never took his eyes off of Kimimaro. Be safe, Lee, Naruto told Lee before leaping after Sasuke. I am Rock Lee, Konoha's beautiful green wild beast, Lee told Kimimaro. I am Kimimaro, he replied simply as he looked warily at the boy. Shall we begin? Kimimaro asked when suddenly Lee vanished in a blur of speed and launched at Kimimaro. He is fast, Kimimaro noted as he caught a kick, but he was suddenly kicked in the side of the head again when Lee placed his palm onto the ground and kicked with his other leg, making Kimimaro skid across the field a few times. I have to use my speed against him, Lee thought as he ran forward in a blur and dealt devastating hits to the man. Suddenly Lee felt tremendous pain in his shin. He looked to see bones had protruded from Kimimaru's skin and had hit the weights on his shin. That should have pierced your leg, Kimimaro stated when the leg warmer fell to the ground and shook the land around them. He raised his eyebrow at the strange-clad boy. I wear weights, Lee told him as he removed his other leg warmer and let it fall. Lee vanished completely without his leg weights on. He was faster than the eye could follow. Lee was dealing punches and kicks to Kimimaro. After a while, Lee started to notice that Kimimaro was starting to block and dodge his hits. He has found my pattern, Lee thought before he was kicked away. You are predictable, Kimimaro stated simply. Lee was feeling slightly fatigued from the intense fighting he was doing. I am out of shape, Lee thought before he ran towards Kimimaro again. At the last second, Lee redirected his track and ran towards the fallen weights. Lee picked them up and connected them, creating a bow staff. Lee changed his direction again and ran directly at Kimimaro before throwing his staff at full force at him. Kimimaro watched as the staff flew at him. The staff connected with Kimimaro's stomach before he could dodge it. He was thrown back and into the ground, leaving a trench as he slid across the ground. That was a different attack, Kimimaro thought as he stood up, much to Lee's surprise. How is he still standing? Lee thought as he panted a little. I guess I will have to use the elixir Tsunade-sama gave me, Lee thought as he pulled the bottle out and downed the contents in one gulp. A mild blush came across his cheeks and he fell backwards, snoring loudly. Kimimaro blinked a few times in confused when suddenly Lee was on his feet in front of him. What the? Was all Kimimaro was able to say before Lee kicked him away. Lee was throwing wild punches and kicks at Kimimaro. His attack is completely different now, he thought. Whoosh, you looking at? Lee slurred, making Kimimaro blink again before Lee kicked him towards the bottle. He got a whiff of what was in it. Is he drunk? Kimimaro thought as he stood again as his skin darkened and 6 bone-like spines grew out of his back along with the tail. You sure are pretty, Lee slurred before falling backwards again. I am not falling for that again, Kimimaro thought as Lee continued to snore. Oh, what happened? Lee asked as he stood holding his head. He looked up to see Kimimaro. What happened to you? He asked, still holding his head. He was answered as Kimimaro charged at Lee at a much slower speed. I guess that form makes him slower, Lee thought as he disappeared and was about to connect his foot with Kimimaro's rib cage when bones shot out. Sand got in between the two and Lee was forced away and was caught on a cloud of sand. He looked up to see Gaara. Hello, Gaara-san, Lee said weakly. Hello, Lee, Gaara replied as Kimimaro started to pull his spine out. Spine sword, Kimimaro stated as he held the sword. He launched at Gaara and slammed into his sand shield. The shield was barely holding against the attack. Gaara held his arm up and sand wrapped around him and lifted him into the air. Sand coffin, Gaara stated emotionlessly. Sand burial, Gaara said again as he clamped his fist together, crushing the sand together. Gaara let the sand and body fall to the ground. Bone bullets, Kidomaru exclaimed as he held his hand up and launched bones at the shocked Gaara. But his sand shield reacted on its own and blocked the bone bullets. Gaara held his hand up. Tempered Shikaku trident, Gaara exclaimed as a trident started to form in his hands. This trident is made of the hardest materials in the earth, Gaara said calmly as the two attacked each other. You are good with that weapon, Kidomaru told Gaara, who grunted in reply and jammed the trident into his stomach, but it was stopped by Kidomaru's skin. Kidomaru brought his spine sword down. Gaara blocked the attack except for the piece that was embedded in his shoulder. Kidomaru pulled and cut Gaara on his shoulder, and the trident started to dissolve. Gaara leapt back and held his hand up as a fat raccoon appeared between the two. Gaara was holding his shoulder in pain. This guy is stronger than anyone I have faced before, Gaara thought. Bone bullets, Kidomaru exclaimed as he started shooting his bones into the fat raccoon. You cannot hide forever. I don't, Gaara said from behind Kidomaru. Gaara made a hand sign. Prison sand burial, Gaara said as sand started to swirl around Kidomaru and started to drag him into the ground. After a while, Gaara let out a breath. What did you do to him? Lee asked. He is 200 meters under the surface of the ground, Gaara told him when the ground started to shake. He can't possibly be still alive, Lee commented as the two were lifted by Gaara's sand as bone spikes launched out of the ground. Gaara rose the two higher into the sky. Is he dead yet? Lee asked when everything settled down. I will not fail Orochimaru-sama, a voice yelled. What is it going to take to kill this person? Gaara thought almost desperately when suddenly Kidomaru appeared in front of both Lee and Gaara through one of his bone pillars. A bone lance started to form around his arm and he cocked it back to hit the two almost defenseless shinobi when Kidomaru started to cough up blood. Both Gaara and Lee watched in amazement as Kidomaru slumped forward dead. Was he sick when he was fighting us? Lee asked as Gaara shrugged and levitated them away from the bone spike field. Lee, I just want to say sorry for nearly crippling you, Gaara said. Think nothing of it, Lee said, smiling broadly at the boy. You saved my life, so we are even, Lee said as he held his arm out. Gaara had a bad feeling, but he grabbed Lee's hand and shook it before Lee pulled him into a hug. Lee, an older male voice yelled. Gi-sensei. Lee. Gi-sensei. Lee. Gi-sensei. Lee. Must get away, Gaara thought desperately as a sunset formed behind them. Ah, it burns, Shikaki yelled in Gaara's head. Please, I will do anything, just stop it, Shikaka pleaded, stunning Gaara. Oh, that poor boy, Tsum stated as the medics nodded. Hey, stop it, Tsum ordered loudly. Can't you see that Gaara is bleeding? Oh, his youthfulness was so bright I could contain myself, Guy stated as the medics and some faces collided with the ground. Please, I will do anything, just stop this torture, Shikaka stated when the sunset disappeared. Thank Kami, that is over. Gaara was unwittingly nodding at Shikaku. Oh, and for that little promise you will allow me to sleep without taking or attempting to take over my body, Gaara thought with a smile. We are bound by a law older than time itself, Shikaka stated with a sigh. Original Chapter 25. Naruto burst through the forest and landed on top of the first Hokage's head. Sasuke was standing across from him on Madara Uchiha's head. The two were looking at each other. This is where our fight will be, Sasuke called to him. I don't want to fight you, Sasuke, Naruto called back. Come back to Konoha. No, they were holding me back, Sasuke said angrily. No, you were holding yourself back by working alone, Naruto replied calmly. If you go any further, I will have to take you back by force. Or to kill you so Orochimaru doesn't get the Sharingan, Naruto told him as he drew out his katana. Like you could kill me and Uchiha, Sasuke exclaimed angrily as he leapt off of Madara's stone head and flew at Naruto. Sasuke pulled a kunai out and slashed at Naruto. Naruto was able to block the attack and take a large chip out of the kunai. Sasuke, stop this now, Naruto said as he pushed Sasuke back. No! He yelled as he kicked out and Naruto caught the attack with his hand. How is he so strong? Sasuke thought as Naruto kicked at Sasuke, sending him flying into Madara's chest, creating a crater. Sasuke, I do not want to hurt you, Naruto told Sasuke, angering the boy. Well, I want to hurt you, he yelled as he flew at Naruto again. Sparks were flying everywhere as Naruto blocked one of Sasuke's slashes with his kunai until the kunai was sliced to pieces. And I will take that sword, Sasuke yelled as he attacked again. I am going to have to kill him, Naruto thought sadly. It would seem so, Kyuubi told him. Naruto leapt back when Sasuke started to go through some hand signs. Fire style, fireball jutsu. Sasuke yelled as he created a massive fireball. Water style, water dragon jutsu. Naruto exclaimed as a giant water dragon rose out of the water and flew at the fireball, extinguishing it. Sasuke, please stop this insanity, Naruto said calmly. It isn't insanity. Sasuke yelled, angry that the supposed dead last was beating him thoroughly. Fine then, Naruto said. You have no chance to win against me, Sasuke, Naruto told him coldly before charging at him. Fire style, Phoenix Fire Jutsu. Sasuke yelled as he started to spit out small fireballs at Naruto. The fireballs hit his cloak and barely hindered him. Naruto kneed Sasuke in the stomach, making him fly into the air. Naruto looked up and forced chakra into his legs and flew through the air. Sasuke opened his eyes to see Naruto flying towards him, katana point first. Sasuke barely twisted to the side as Naruto flew by. That should give me a few seconds to recover, Sasuke thought when he heard a popping noise. He looked behind him to see Naruto flying at him. How did he do that? Sasuke thought as Naruto tackled him at full speed and the two slammed into the ground. Naruto winced in pain. Damn, I broke my leg and arm, Naruto thought as he looked down at Sasuke, who was still awake and alive. Damn, Naruto thought when purple chakra started to surge around him. Naruto felt Kyuubi surge chakra into his arm and leg, healing them almost instantly. Naruto leapt back and flexed his limbs as Sasuke stood while the marks started to spread across his skin. I will kill you! Sasuke yelled as red chakra started to bubble around Naruto, and he fell onto his hands. Sasuke, stop now, Naruto growled in an altered voice. No, Naruto, with this power I will kill you, Sasuke said maliciously. I don't think so, Naruto said. I know all your ranged attacks and none will do anything to me, Sasuke said arrogantly. All but one, Naruto yelled as he stuck his arm around and the red chakra launched at Sasuke. Sasuke was momentarily stunned as the chakra fist collided with his chest. Naruto instantly went after the boy. Fire style, fireball jutsu. Sasuke yelled as the fireball hit Naruto. Sasuke smirked until a large cyclone kicked up, extinguishing the fireball. Water was swirling around Naruto as he stood stock still on the water. Why is he so strong? No matter how much I train, he is always ahead of me, Sasuke thought angrily, feeding the cursed seal. Naruto was moving too fast for Sasuke's Sharingan to track. Why can't I see him? Sasuke thought desperately as Naruto literally kicked his ass. Suddenly Sasuke could track Naruto moving. What is happening? Sasuke thought. Shit, his Sharingan just advanced, Naruto thought as he slashed out at Sasuke and he dodged. Naruto's hands were a blur and Sasuke was easily defending against him. Suddenly Naruto heard chirping noises and shearing pain in his shoulder. Naruto coughed up blood and looked down to see Sasuke's hand in his shoulder. Sasuke was smirking viciously, but that was wiped away when Naruto grabbed onto his forearm and kicked him in the stomach multiple times. Naruto let go of Sasuke at the last hit, and his hand was ripped from Naruto's shoulder. Sasuke looked up to what he thought was a fatal hit but was stunned to see the wound mending itself together. You have made me angry, Sasuke, Naruto said with a deathly calm voice as a second tail started to form. Naruto's body started to hurt from the strain of the chakra. Naruto, you can't handle much more, Kyuubi warned him as Naruto's features became more feral. I will be fine, Naruto thought with some pain. Naruto suddenly burst towards Sasuke in speeds that wouldn't be able to be seen by the normal eye. Naruto and Sasuke were trading blow after blow. Neither could get an upper hand. I will kill you and take this power, Sasuke yelled. Sorry, but killing me and this power comes with me, Naruto said calmly, making the boy angrier. If that is possible. Naruto watched as Sasuke's skin started to turn dark gray, his hair started to grow and turn dark blue, a star-shaped mark appeared across the bridge of Sasuke's nose. Naruto was suddenly knocked back and across the river. What the hell just happened? Naruto thought as he pulled himself out of the hole his back created when he hit the cliff wall. This power is amazing, Sasuke said with a vicious smirk. I will stop you, Sasuke, Naruto said as he started making a dark purple Rasengan. Naruto leapt at Sasuke and slammed the Rasengan into him. Dust was kicked up and Naruto's vision was obscured. Naruto waved his arm and flung the dust in all directions. Naruto saw a webbed hand covering Sasuke's body. What the hell is that? Naruto thought as it moved from Sasuke's body to show that was a wing-like appendage. Suddenly another hand ripped out of his back. We will end this now, Naruto, Sasuke said as he charged up a black Chidori and Naruto created another dark purple Rasengan. Naruto leapt in the air towards Sasuke as Sasuke flew at him. Chidori/Rasengan. The two attacks connected with each other, and it was a battle of dominance to see which jutsu was the strongest. A dome of chakra surrounded the two and started to grow. Suddenly two things flew out of the sphere of chakra. Naruto had another hole in his chest while Sasuke had the burn marks from Naruto's Rasengan, and the two wounds were healing quickly. I am going to have to do that technique, Naruto thought as he heard Kyuubi gasp. Naruto, you know that technique sacrifices your healing ability to enhance your speed and strength. Kyuubi warned him. I know that, Kyuubi. Naruto thought as the red chakra receded into his seal as the wound was completely healed. Looks like I will have to increase my power, Naruto told Sasuke, who was standing across from him. Sasuke started to hear bones cracking and muscles tearing. He saw a muzzle jut out from the cowl of the hood. Naruto hunched over and Sasuke saw a hairy clawed hand pull the string of his cloak, and Naruto stood up to his now 6-foot-tall height and let out a loud roar. In front of Sasuke was a Werkutsun. Come on, Sasuke, Naruto said as the cloak fluttered away. Naruto suddenly ran at Sasuke with his clawed hand on the ground, leaving 5 long gashes in the ground. Naruto slashed up and left 5 long gashes on Sasuke's chest that started at his left hip and ended on his right shoulder. Sasuke was suddenly thrown back and slammed into the wall. What is that power? Sasuke demanded as he pulled himself out of the hole his back created. The wounds Naruto had created were healing. I sacrificed my healing abilities to augment my own speed and strength, Naruto told him as he moved again and kicked out with his clawed foot, connecting with Sasuke's chest, making him crash into the hole he created earlier. Naruto started to slam his fists on Sasuke. His hands were starting to bleed from how hard his fists were clenched. Suddenly an arm launched out and grabbed Naruto by the throat. Chidori! Sasuke yelled as he slammed his hand through Naruto's chest once again. Naruto took the claws on his feet and dug them deeply into Sasuke's chest, piercing both of his lungs, and pulled back as hard as he could, racking his claws down Sasuke's chest. Naruto leapt back and grabbed his chest as blood poured down it, along with blood pouring out of the 10 deep gashes on Sasuke's chest. The two looked at each other, both become soaked in their own blood fast. We each can only do one more attack, Sasuke, Naruto stated matter-of-factly. I guessed as much too, Sasuke admitted. Let's end this, Sasuke, Naruto said as he charged up a blood-red Rasengan. The two suddenly flew at each other in a burst of speed. Naruto was able to reach Sasuke first with his enhanced speed. Rasengan! Naruto yelled as his Rasengan slammed into Sasuke's stomach at the same time as he started to revert back to his normal self, when Sasuke charged a black Chidori and slammed it into Naruto's chest. The two coughed up blood. The two fell to the ground and fell onto different sides of the river. The two somehow were able to pull themselves out of the hole. Naruto had blood streaming down his chin, along with Sasuke, who was reverting back to his normal body. Naruto weakly started to run as the holes in his chest started to heal themselves as he charged at Sasuke. Sasuke was doing the same, and the two fists collided together, and they entered another taijutsu fight. Naruto was a little faster than Sasuke and was able to deal more hits on him, but Sasuke's strength was holding out, and when they hit Naruto they were more powerful. The corners of their vision started to darken as they fought against each other. Neither wanted to pass out before the other. The two leapt back at the same time to catch their breaths. We are too evenly matched right now, Naruto thought as his vision started to tunnel along with Sasuke's, and the two started to stumble backwards and fell into the craters they had made during their fight. Sasuke had passed out, and Naruto was using the last of his strength to pull himself out of the hole, and saw a figure grab Sasuke and leap away before he passed out and slid back into the crater at the same time as it started to rain. With Kakashi, I have to stop them, Kakashi thought as he followed Pakun. Kakashi, what are you doing here? Sim demanded, stopping the Jounin in his tracks. Sim-sama. Kakashi trailed off as he looked at the slightly older but more powerful woman. Well? Sim demanded, her temper rising. I have to find Sasuke-kun and Naruto-kun, Kakashi said as Sim raised her eyebrow at him. So now you care about Naruto-kun? Sim questioned, making Kakashi flinch a little. Help me protect these medics while we look for Naruto-kun, Sim ordered, and Kakashi nodded in defeat. The small group leapt off in search of Naruto. So why did you ditch your pups? Sim asked. Pups? Kakashi asked, genuinely confused. Students, she told him. I knew that if I didn't spend time with Sasuke-kun he would do something like this. Kakashi defended himself. That won't cut it when Tsunade-sama gets that talk with you, Sim told him. And if Naruto-kun is hurt, no one will stop her from placing a kill on sight order on him, Sim stated. Why? Kakashi asked, once again confused. I am a mother and I know that those two have a mother/son relationship. Sim told him. If the person who hurt my pup was still alive, I would rip his nuts off and kill him slowly. Sim stated like it was the most obvious thing in the world. The men in the group covered their crotches as the women giggled. They came to the Valley of the End and they were shocked to see the sheer carnage of the damage. What happened here? A medic asked. A master-level fight, Kakashi said before leaping to the floor with Sim close behind him. They surveyed the damage, and the two saw a black cloak laying on a katana stabbed into the ground. They went towards it, and as they drew closer they were shocked to see Naruto laying unconscious in a hole not too far off. Blood and water was pooling around him. Naruto-kun! Sim exclaimed as she went to him immediately. She saw the hole in his chest bleeding profusely. What happened to him? Those are Chidori wounds, Kakashi said knowingly before he was lifted off the ground by an angry woman. You taught that power-hungry bastard the Chidori, she yelled in a dark, angry tone. It told him that I was T to BB used T to P protect. Kakashi stuttered. Yo, Sasuke's scent isn't here anymore. A third scent is apparent here too, Pakun told them. It is obvious that he isn't using it to protect others. Sim spat at him as she dropped the scared man. We cannot heal him, a medic said. Tsunade-sama will have to heal him, he added quickly. Kakashi, you have to take him back to Konoha, Sim ordered. I don't like to admit it, but I am not as fast as I used to be, she added. You are the fastest and Naruto need immediate attention, she told him. Of course, Kakashi said as he pulled his forehead protector up, revealing his Sharingan. The medics carefully placed Naruto onto Kakashi's back and Kakashi was gone the next instant. Sim-sama, what do you think will happen when Tsunade-sama sees Naruto? A medic asked. The truth? Sim asked as the medic nodded. I don't know, she whispered. But it will not be pretty. In Konoha, Tsunade was sitting at her desk doing paperwork when an Umbu appeared before her. Tsunade-sama. The Umbu saluted the woman. What is it? Tsunade demanded. Kakashi has just returned, he told her, with a seriously injured genin on his back. He added as Tsunade's heart started to drop. I am going to the hospital, Tsunade said as she stood. Who is it? She asked. Please tell me it is not Naruto, she thought desperately. It is Naruto Uzumaki. He has 2 fist-sized holes in his chest, he told her as Tsunade looked broken for a second. Go tell Hinata Hyuga that Naruto is in the hospital, Tsunade ordered as the Umbu nodded and quickly vanished. Hospital. Several medics were force-feeding Naruto plasma pills to replenish the blood he is losing. How he is alive is beyond me, one medic said. You shouldn't say such things, Tsunade-sama might hear you, another medic whispered. Hear what? A feminine voice asked behind them. The two turned to see the buxom woman. No one, ma'am, the two exclaimed. Tsunade pushed the two away and his hands started to glow green. She couldn't possibly heal those wounds. The medics thought in unison, but they noticed that she kept her hands over Naruto's heart, and his wounds started to glow bright red and started to close. After 15 minutes the wounds were completely closed. She did it, they thought. Tsunade-sama, more wounded are coming in, a medic said hurriedly. Choji Akamichi and Neji Hyuga are in critical condition, Kiba Inuzuka is suffer from severe blood loss and Shikamaru Nara is suffering from a broken finger, he told them as 2 people were brought in. You get Shizen in here now, she ordered as she pointed at a medic. You 3 keep Neji alive, she ordered 3 of the medics. And you get me everything from the Akamichi clan and Nara clan on the Akamichi pills, she ordered the last one. They all nodded and went to their jobs. Tsunade went to Choji's side and ran her hands over his body and knew that his organs were starting to systematically shut down. Tsunade attempted to heal the damaged organs to give her a little more time to find a cure for the poison running through Choji's veins. A medic came to her with a couple of books. Tsunade-sama, these are the books you requested, the medic said as he gave them to Tsunade. I gave myself a day before he gets worse again, Tsunade thought as she grabbed the books and left the emergency room. Chapter 26, and I will be starting off of the original chapters 23 to 25. Shortly after Naruto had been healed, he had slipped into a coma, and it had crushed Hinata when she heard that. Tsunade had to comfort the broken girl, even thought she herself wanted to cry her eyes out. It has been a week and Naruto had not shown one sign that he will wake up anytime soon. Naruto's mindscape. Naruto's eyes started to crack open. Go back to sleep, kid, Kyuubi told Naruto. You need to rest some more before you can wake. she told him as she forced him back into his slumber. Real world. Hinata was sitting next to Naruto's bed with a tear-stained face. If she wasn't here, she was out in the training field training until her hands were either bloody or fell unconscious from overexertion. That girl is going to kill herself, Tsunade thought from the door. Although she wasn't much better, she had buried herself into her work to keep her mind off of her son. Hinata, you should go home and take a shower, Tsunade said as Hinata shook her head. Hinata hadn't spoken much for the entire week. Dear, you shouldn't be killing yourself over this, Tsunade said in a motherly tone. Naruto wouldn't want to see you like this, she told her as she saw the girl become rigid. People are saying Naruto-kun isn't going to wake up. Hinata's voice cracked from disuse. Naruto is one of the most persistent person we know, Tsunade told the girl. He will come back to us, she added before Hinata showed her true age and embraced the older woman in a hug and started crying again. But I miss him so much, Hinata cried out. I do too, Hinata, Tsunade told her as she squeezed the smaller girl a little tighter. We will just have to comfort each other in order to stay sane, Tsunade whispered to the girl as she let the little girl cry. You had better wake up soon, Naruto, Tsunade thought. Naruto's mindscape. Naruto could hear crying in the distance. Who is crying? Naruto thought weakly. But I miss him so much, a familiar voice cried out. Hinata-heim? Naruto thought. She is crying. She shouldn't be crying. I have to wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Naruto thought desperately. Naruto, stop! Kyuubi exclaimed. Real world. Hinata was crying on Tsunade's shoulder when a powerful chakra surge was felt by the two. They looked over to see Naruto enshrouded by crimson chakra with his back arching up. Naruto! The two yelled as they attempted to get closer, but the red chakra lashed out and was leaving burn marks and knocking things off the walls. They had to cover their eyes from the intensity of the chakra. But as suddenly as the chakra came, it was gone. And that did it for Hinata, and she completely broke down and fell to her knees and started to cry even harder. Why? Why? Hinata kept repeating in her head as she wept over her lover's bed. She is going through what I did, Tsunade thought sadly. She placed her hand on the weeping girl's shoulder before walking out, leaving the crying girl. Another week later, Naruto's mindscape. Naruto, it is time to get up, Kyuubi told him gently. Your mate is waiting for you, she added as Naruto's eyes started to crack open. Real world. Hinata had not left Naruto's side and had hardly ate anything since Naruto's chakra flare. She hasn't even spoken a single word, not even her closest friends and sensei could get her to talk. Her sister Hanabi and father tried, but they didn't even get a reaction out of her. Hanabi was close to breaking point because her dear older sister was starting to wither away. Naruto-kun, please come back to me, she thought desperately. I don't know if I can live without you, she added while grabbing his hand, feeling the unusual warmth. His hands have been so cold recently, Hinata thought hopefully. No, I mustn't get hopeful, Hinata chided herself. She clamped her eyes shut as more tears started to fall. She felt a hand cup her face and wipe a tear away with their thumb. Haim, you shouldn't be crying, a familiar voice told her. Hinata's eyes snapped open in shock and she saw the warm cerulean blue eyes looking back at her. Naruto! She yelled before wrapping her arms tightly around him and kissing him passionately when a thought came to her. Kami, if this is a dream, I will definitely die when I wake up, Hinata thought. Hokage office. Tsunade was working diligently and hadn't had a drop of alcohol in the past 2 weeks. She was signing a paper when, Naruto! She heard someone yell and the papers were scattered all over the place, and by the time the first piece of paper hit the ground, no one was in the office. Naruto's room. Hinata was finally pulled away from Naruto and pinched herself and winced in pain. Naruto looked confused when tears started to well up in her eyes. Haim, you are much too pretty to cry, Naruto said, cupping her face again. Where are we? Naruto asked, looking around when flashbacks of the fight he had flooded his mind. Naruto-kun. Hinata trailed off as she saw him grip his head in seeming pain. Ah! Naruto screamed as his eyes went blank and he fell backwards unconscious right as Tsunade made it to the door. What happened? Tsunade exclaimed. Naruto-kun woke up then Then he asked where we were, then he grabbed his head and went unconscious again. Hinata said, close to tears again. Well, it is good to know he is out of the coma, Tsunade said with a sigh. But I figured he had temporary memory loss and he must have gained it back in an instant, and it was too much for him to handle, Tsunade told her. But it is perfectly normal. She interrupted the girl again. You should get some sleep, Hinata. Tsunade told the girl. She blinked when she saw Hinata slip under the covers and lay her head on Naruto's shoulder. I meant you own bed, but I guess you want Naruto to see you when you first wake up, Tsunade said to the already sleeping girl. Tsunade sighed and walked to the girl and brought the blankets up, further covering her completely. Tsunade walked back out, leaving the sleeping duo. She went and started telling everyone the prankster Hokage is back. Late at night, Naruto opened his eyes again and looked around. His eyes settled on window. It is dark out, Naruto thought as he tried to sit up but felt a weight on his shoulder. Naruto looked to see Hinata was sound asleep on his shoulder. The moonlight was shining in through the window and was illuminating her face, making her look angelic. My Haim is so beautiful, Naruto thought as he lightly brushed some hair out of her face. Hinata's eyes cracked open to see two bright blue eyes looking down at her. So I wasn't dreaming you were awake, Hinata whispered almost inaudibly. I am awake, Hinata Haim, Naruto whispered and leaned in and kissed her. The kiss soon became more passionate, and Naruto found himself almost naked and Hinata in the same fashion. Haim, I think we shouldn't go too much further. Naruto struggled to form words with Hinata's well-endowed naked chest pressed against his. I just want to be closer, Hinata told him while laying completely on his chest. Naruto blushed a little at feeling her soft skin on his own. Let's sleep like this, Hinata mumbled as she fell asleep again. Naruto let out a yawn and he too soon fell asleep. The next morning, the unwitting duo didn't know that they were going to get a rude awakening. Ino, Sakura, Tenten, Tsunade, Shizen, Anko and Kurenai were walking towards Naruto's room. Okay, just to warn you, they might still be asleep, Tsunade told them, not wanting them to freak out when they saw Hinata and Naruto sleeping together. Okay, they all said as Tsunade opened the door, and various gifts fell onto the ground as their mouth dropped open. In front of them was Hinata sleeping sound asleep, seemingly naked on top of Naruto. No wonder Naruto picked Hinata, Sakura thought, looking at Hinata's bigger chest. Naruto! Kurenai yelled, ready to kill him. Their eyes flew open and Hinata let out a squeak and ducked her head under the blankets. This is not what it looks like, Naruto exclaimed quickly. Anko and Shizen were holding Kurenai back from injuring the already injured genin. Naruto Uzumaki, what do you think you two were doing? Demanded Tsunade. We were sleeping, Naruto exclaimed as Hinata slid off of him and hid against his side. She was burying her head into his side. More like sleeping together, Anko stated suggestively, earning her two very scary glares from Kurenai and Tsunade. What were you doing? Tsunade demanded with ill-restrained anger. We were kissing, Naruto told her. Nothing more, he added quickly. Then why are you two naked? Kurenai yelled, embarrassing Naruto. Oh ho, that's my boy. A perverted giggle came from the window. What was that, Jiraiya? Tsunade asked dangerously. Nothing, Hokage-sama. Jiraiya gulped nervously. She is the scariest woman I have ever seen, Jiraiya thought, and nearly had a heart attack when he saw that every female but the blushing heiress was glaring at him. I'm going to go, Jiraiya said as he summoned a large toad and they ran away. Naruto. What were you two doing? Tsunade asked with strained calmness that Naruto knew was fake. We had mind-blowing sex, and if I hadn't have placed a sound barrier around the room, people would have heard Hinata scream my name when I created a miniature Rasengan and inserted it into her, Naruto said with a completely straight face. Hinata fainted away just thinking about it. Shizen, Kurenai and Anko's mouths dropped open, knowing that a jutsu like that used for that purpose would lead to the best orgasm of their lives. Tsunade blinked a few times. Everything he said could have possibly happened. Sakura and Ino were unconscious on the floor. Can you teach me the Rasengan? Anko asked seriously as Shizen, Kurenai and Tsunade looked at her. What? You know you two want to try that too, Anko said matter-of-factly as the three women blushed and looked away. Wait, we are getting off subject, Tsunade said, turning to Naruto. Someone was getting off last night, Anko joked, earning glares from the three other women. Well, I won't deny that part, Naruto told them. Wait, you mean you lied about that? Shizen asked. Yes, Naruto told her. Although that Rasengan part is a theory for me, Naruto added. We kissed, somehow our clothes were removed and I stopped her before anything else happened, Naruto admitted. Even if I did want to do that to her, Naruto added in his head. Okay, I believe you, Tsunade said as she turned to the two unconscious girls with blood trickling down their noses. She shook her head as she picked up Sakura as Shizen picked Ino up and Kurenai followed the two out. So Naruto, how about you teaching me the Rasengan? Anko asked with a perverted grin. Sure, I can teach you, but I won't teach you the technique to reduce the size, Naruto told her as Anko groaned in disappointment, and stalked out, slamming the door behind her. Naruto chuckled at Anko's antiques. Are they gone? Hinata asked, popping her head back up. She had a small trickle of blood running down her nose. Naruto grabbed a tissue and wiped her nose. My Eroheim, you wanted what I said to happen, didn't you? Naruto asked. I will neither confirm or deny that, Hinata stated as a blush formed down her cheeks. You know I can make a sound barrier fairly easy, Naruto told her as her cheeks darkened. Ravage his body. The perverted side of Hinata's mind yelled. No, you mustn't, we must stay pure till we are married, the non-perverted side argued. Why wait when we know we are marrying Naruto-kun? Countered the arrow side. Okay, ravage his body, the non-perverted side agreed almost eagerly. Hinata felt a warmth running through her. Hinata looked at Naruto. Naruto could see the lust and desire burning in her eyes. You know, Naruto-kun, I know my own sound barriers, Hinata said with a seductive smile. Naruto became nervous as Hinata started to go through hand signs. A dark hue covered the walls. Now. No one will hear me scream, Hinata told him as she kissed his lips. Naruto groaned with Hinata grinded herself against his hardening member. Hinata. Are you sure about this? Naruto groaned out as Hinata leaned forward. I have never been more sure in my life, Hinata whispered into his ear, making him shiver. Naruto suddenly flipped Hinata over and Naruto had flipped Hinata onto her back, eliciting an erotic moan from her throat. Naruto instantly sucked on her throat, making another moan come from her. Naruto kissed his way back up her throat up to her ear, making her shiver. If we continue, I might not be able to hold back, Naruto whispered huskily into her ear. A primal moan escaped her throat as his breath tickled her neck. Don't stop. Hinata was interrupted by Naruto kissing her lips. Hinata's hands tangled into his hair, pulling him closer as his hands moved down her sides. Hinata was too preoccupied with kissing him that she didn't notice his hand cupping her breast. He gave her breast a firm squeeze, making Hinata moan loudly into the kiss, and Naruto stuck his tongue into her mouth, plundering it. She tastes so good, Naruto thought as Hinata let out another moan. Oh God, I think I forgot to breath, Hinata thought as Naruto stopped kissing her lips and started to kiss his way down her face to her neck and bit a little hard. Naruto could taste the coppery taste of blood in his mouth, but neither cared because all Hinata felt was immense pleasure. He started to move down to her collarbone and lightly sucked on a sensitive spot, and she let out another moan. Naruto smirked and lowered his head even more and kissed in between her breasts, making even more pleasure course through her veins. It was like fire was coursing through her veins, making her hotter. Oh God, this feels too good, Hinata thought as she wrapped her fingers around his golden locks even harder. Her back bent at an almost impossible angle when she felt a hot wet sensation wrap around her nipple. She nearly let out a scream when she found her voice again. Hinata looked down to see Naruto's mouth around her nipple. Oh God, was all Hinata could think. Naruto lifted his head up, earning a disgruntled moan from Hinata. How does it feel, my Heim? Naruto asked as he pinched her nipple lightly, making her moan out his name. How does it feel? Naruto punctuated each word with a light squeeze of her nipple. Hinata's breath was hitched in her throat. Well? It feels so good, Hinata screamed in pleasure. That wasn't so hard, was it? Naruto asked. No hhh. She screamed in pleasure when Naruto's head dipped down, and he started to suck on her other nipple as his hand lightly caressed her breast. How is he so good at this? Hinata thought. Naruto pulled away again, and Hinata opened her mouth to protest when Naruto started to kiss down her chest to her stomach. He hit a ticklish spot and Hinata giggled a little. Naruto looked up at the flushed face and chest of Hinata, his eyes asking if it was okay, and she nodded to him and lifted her hips up as he removed her panties as he pulled them down. He kissed down one leg and up the other after he pulled them down. Naruto saw that Hinata had covered herself in embarrassment. You do not have to hide my Heim, Naruto told her as he leaned up and kissed her on the lips and pulled her arms away from her most sacred of places. Naruto continued to kiss her as his hands slipped up the inside of her thigh and stroked the outside of her nether lips. Hinata let out a surprised shriek as her hips bucked against his hand. And Naruto-kun. More, Hinata demanded after pulling away from the kiss. Naruto smirked as he heard the need in her voice. Anything for you, my Haim, Naruto said as he kissed her right before sticking a finger into her virgin hole. Hinata moaned loudly into the kiss. He has so much control over me right now, Hinata thought, not caring at all. Naruto broke the kiss and started to kiss down her chest. He left an extremely wet kiss on each of her nipples, coating them slivia, making her nipples harden because of the cool feeling washing over them. She whimpered as her nipples strained for contact that they weren't receiving. Naruto spread her legs a little and looked at Hinata's vagina, making her become incredibly self-conscious. What if it smells bad? Hinata thought, a bit disappointed. And Naruto-kun, why you do? Her mouth dropped open as Naruto dived in and started licking her lips. This pleasure, Hinata thought desperately. It is too much. How does it feel? Naruto asked between licks. Hinata was squirming and moaning lightly from the licks. Too good. Hinata's voice cracked with pleasure. I could stop, Naruto told her after a lick. Hinata's hands grabbed onto the back of his head and pushed his mouth back onto her vagina. No! She exclaimed as Naruto smirked into her vagina. Don't you dare stop! She ordered as Naruto's tongue buried itself inside of her vagina, making a loud moan escape her lips. God, am I glad I placed that sound barrier up, she thought as she felt a tightening in her stomach. Oh God, I am about to come, Hinata thought when Naruto found her clit and gave it a long suck, and Hinata let out a ear-shattering scream as the tightening sensation was released and unimaginable pleasure coursed through her. Hinata was shaking a little from the unexpected pleasure. Hinata felt Naruto lick around her hole, cleaning her up. Her skin was currently ultra-sensitive, and his licks were making her shiver and the tightening to return again. Naruto crawled back up to Hinata and kissed her on the lips, giving her a taste of herself. You taste delicious, Hinata-heim, Naruto whispered into her ear. Naruto-kun, take me, Hinata ordered almost desperately. Naruto pulled his boxers off and lined himself up at her entrance. Are you sure about this? Naruto asked as Hinata nodded and braced herself for the oncoming pain. Naruto slowly entered her, trying to lessen the pain for her. Naruto could hear Hinata whimpering in pain when he stopped for a second when he came to a barrier. Hinata had tears in her eyes and they were streaming down her cheeks. Naruto kissed her, trying to help her forget about the pain. Go ahead, Hinata told him as Naruto nodded and pulled out a little and slammed into her as Hinata bit into Naruto's neck as the pain ripped through her. Hinata's bite had ripped through Naruto's skin as blood flowed into her mouth and down his back. After a while, Hinata let go of Naruto's shoulder. You can move, Naruto-kun, Hinata told him softly. Just please be gentle, Hinata whispered as Naruto slowly pulled out and pushed back into her. God, she is so tight, Naruto thought as he found a slow rhythm. Hinata at first felt a mix between pain and pleasure, but as Naruto went, the pleasure started to take over. Soon she was moaning his name repeatedly. Naruto-kun. Faster, she whispered into his ear as she clutched onto him. Her fingernails were digging into his back. Naruto started to go faster. She slammed her head onto her pillow and a long moan escaped her lips. Hinata felt the tightening in her stomach again. Oh God, Naruto-kun, I am going to come, Hinata struggled out. Me too, Haim, Naruto grunted out as he increased his speed again. Hinata wrapped her legs around his waist and pulled him in as deep as he could, and Hinata had the best orgasm of her life. She squeezed Naruto so tight that she made him come in her. Hinata moaned when she felt his semen shot into her. Hinata purred in satisfaction. That was amazing, Naruto-kun, Hinata whispered. That it was, Haim, Naruto said, pulling the blankets over them as Hinata snuggled into his chest. Chapter 28. A week later. It has been a week since Naruto has woken up. He was being released today, and Hinata was waiting for him. Naruto was currently standing before a full-body mirror. He was looking at the 3 scars on his chest. Naruto gingerly touched the scar. Ugh, this sucks, Naruto thought as he pulled the shirt over his head when he felt 2 arms wrap around him from behind. Naruto-kun, you shouldn't be caught like this. He heard Hinata breath into his ear. Well, seems like someone is frisky, Naruto said with a smirk. What can I say, you are irresistible, Hinata whispered to him as she helped pull his shirt over his head. Geez, Hinata-heim, it is like you are a new person, Naruto said with a smirk. What can I say, I am happy, she said, smiling at him. And I think I know why, Naruto told her as he kissed her on the lips. Ahem? A voice said from the door, and the two separated to see Tsunade at the door. I will disregard what I just heard, Tsunade told them as they blushed and looked away from each other. Naruto cleared his throat as he slipped his cloak over his shoulders. So what would you like? Naruto asked. There is a council meeting and the main topic is you. Tsunade told him as she looked nervous. I figured this day would come sooner or later, Naruto said as he straightened his cloak. Figured what? Hinata asked confused. The civilian council never liked me much, so they often tried to find reasons to kick me out of the village, or be executed, Naruto told her as he heard her knuckles start to crack. He looked at her fists to see them clenched tight. And since I hurt or killed their precious Uchiha, they will be more amped to at least kick me out of the village. Those bastards! Hinata exclaimed. I remember one not too long ago, Naruto said. Flashback begins. Naruto was standing in the council room. The civilians were glaring at Naruto with hate. Why didn't you give Sasuke-kun's katana back to him? A councilwoman demanded. His katana? Naruto asked with a laugh. Do you know what? If he can actually hold it for longer than a few seconds, I will hand it over to him willingly, Naruto said as he pulled his katana out and stabbed it into the wooden floor. Oh, and I hope Sasuke-kun can handle an A-rank lightning jutsu running through his system, Naruto said. Elaborate, Shibi said. This sword isn't like your normal ones, Naruto said. This blade has a sentient being sealed in it. The lightning black dragon, Naruto told them. There are 9 katanas to battle the demon lords. So you are wielding the only thing that can kill the thing in you? Another councilwoman asked. Once again, no, Naruto said. This is the second most powerful blade in current existence, Naruto told them. Where is this blade? Danzo asked. I don't know, Naruto told him. The Uzumaki clan gave it to the only non-Uzumaki that could wield their blades, Naruto added. How many of these blades were created? Danzo inquired. I will not tell you that because it is an Uzumaki clan secret, Naruto said. You will tell us, demon brat, a councilman yelled. Hayashi, tell me why I cannot learn the Hyuga Kaiten, Naruto said. It is a Hyuga clan secret, Hayashi stated as he tried to hide his smirk. You cannot tell me to talk about a clan secret when that clan isn't even a part of Konoha, Naruto told them as Sasuke walked in. Guess what, Sasuke, I made a deal with them. If you can hold the katana for more than a few seconds, you get it, Naruto told him as he smiled at the arrogant brat. Naruto-kun, this shouldn't be as funny as it is, Kyuubi told him with a chuckle as Naruto watched Sasuke grab the hilt of the blade, and within 2 seconds Sasuke was thrown across the room courtesy of a large lightning bolt. Oh, now that was satisfying, Naruto said with a smirk as he grabbed the hilt of the katana and sheathed it. I am leaving now, Naruto told them as he walked out of the room with the civilian council yelling about Naruto hurting Sasuke-kun. Flashback end. They never did like me, Naruto told her as they walked out of the room. They have tried multiple times to have my katana taken away. I want to rip their heads off, Hinata growled out. I bet you do, Naruto said. Hinata, you will not be allowed into the room with us, Tsunade stated. What is this meeting about? Naruto asked. It is a trial, Tsunade told him sadly. But I have a mission for you no matter what the outcome is of the trial, she told him. Okay, Naruto said as he kissed Hinata before Tsunade and Naruto walked into the room to see the Elder, Civilian Council, Shinobi Council, and Danzo. Naruto sighed as he saw the entire Shinobi Council glaring at him. Welcome back, Naruto, Shibi said formally. I don't get why I don't get a seat on the council since I am basically at all of them, Naruto joked. I would wholly agree to that, Shibi stated, clearly not affected by Naruto's joke. I do have 2 questions, Naruto stated, gaining all their attentions. Danzo is the Uchiha clan representative, correct? He asked as they all nodded. Then what is he doing here? Naruto asked. There is no Uchiha loyal to the village, so he has no right to be here, Naruto said. The pup is correct, some stated. Danzo has no right to be here since Sasuke Uchiha isn't loyal anymore. Sasuke-kun is loyal, a councilman exclaimed, but was quickly put in his place as 5 very high killer intents was directed at him. Suanda, Tsum, Hayashi, Shikaku, and Chozo were all glaring at the man. Because of Sasuke, my son was hurt, the 5 yelled at the man. Everyone was shocked to hear Tsunade openly say Naruto was her son. Danzo, you are to leave immediately, Tsunade ordered as Danzo growled and left the room. Now to begin with this farce, Tsunade stated. Naruto Uzumaki, you are here to be brought on the absurd charge of assaulting another loyal shinobi of Konoha, Tsunade said. You should show Sasuke-kun some more respect, a councilman exclaimed. Are you trying to order me the Hokage around? Tsunade growled at the man, making him cower. Pup, how do you plea? Some asked. Not guilty, Naruto said. It says in this report that you warned him, is that correct? Hayashi asked. Yes, I did, Naruto said. I told him that I didn't want to hurt him and to come back to Konoha. He then told me that Konoha was holding him back. Which I replied with, that he was only keeping himself back by working alone. Naruto told them. I then told him that if he goes any further that I would take him back with force. Or kill him so Orochimaru doesn't get the Sharingan. Naruto told them. Outside of the Hokage Tower, Hinata was pacing back and forth along the steps in front of the Hokage Tower when the Konoha 12 came running up to her. Hinata, is it true? Sakura demanded. Is the council really kicking Naruto out? It is a trial, Hinata told her. And I don't know what to do, Hinata said. Try using your Byakugan to see what is going on, Ino told her as Hinata looked sheepishly away. They put Byakugan deflecting seals on the walls, preventing anyone from peering into the room. Hinata said sheepishly. She is correct, Neji stated as he deactivated his Byakugan. What are the charges? Shikamaru asked. I don't know, but Naruto-kun told me that the civilian council has been looking for a reason to kick him out of the village, Hinata told them. Why? Kiba asked. There was a pregnant pause before Hinata answered. That is for Naruto-kun to tell you, Hinata told them. It is his secret to tell, not mine, she said. Secret, they all said in unison. Does it have to do that red chakra he uses sometimes? Sakura asked. Like I said, I cannot tell you, Hinata said calmly. But that simple sentence told them everything they needed to know. Back in the council room, several hours later, Naruto was standing still in front of the council, waiting for the verdict. Some stood and looked at Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki, we of the Shinobi and Civilian Council found you innocent of all charges against you. Some told him as Naruto bowed his head at them. You may leave at any time. Some said. Goodbye, Honorable Council, Naruto said as he bowed to them and walked out of the room and sighed. I hate these meetings. I definitely do not want to do this when I take my seat on the council, Naruto thought as he saw his friends sitting outside of the tower. What are you guys doing? Naruto asked, startling them. Naruto, Sakura began when Tsunade appeared behind him. Naruto, I need you in my office immediately, Tsunade told him before vanishing again. I got to go, Naruto said as he vanished too. Tsunade's office. The two appeared in her office at the same time. Naruto, what I am about to say is serious, Tsunade told him as she walked to her desk and sat in the chair. Naruto took the seat in front of her. What is it, Hokage-sama? Naruto asked seriously. Some of your father's enemies have found out about you somehow, Tsunade said, shocking him. That Sasuke was replaced recently with someone who despises your father. Jiraiya told me that any Konoha shinobi who entered the territory of Iwa has a kill on sight order. He recently sent a letter that told me to either hand you over or we go to war, Tsunade told him. Are you going to hand me over? Naruto asked as Tsunade shook her head. No, I will not, she told him. But I will send you on a long-term mission where you will be declared a missing nin. You will have to desert Konoha for at least 2 years to allow me to gather my forces. Who else is with the new Tsuchikage? Naruto asked. The Raikage is with him, Mizukage isn't with him. She told me she was staying neutral until it is determined if her land will be taken over. And Suna doesn't have a Kazekage yet, Tsunade told Naruto. That Tsuchikage gave me 3 months to hand you over. You have to desert by then, she told him. This will be an S-ranked mission. Who will know about this? Naruto asked, clenching his fist tightly. No one will know, Tsunade told him. It will be dangerous for them, Tsunade told him. Naruto nodded and swallowed the lump in his throat. This is going to be tough, Naruto said solemnly. I know it is, Naruto, but it is essential, she told him. Do me one favor. Naruto trailed off as Tsunade nodded firmly. Watch out for Hinata, I know she will be crushed when she finds out that I left the village, Naruto told her as he stood. I think I should go, Naruto said before he walked out of the office. It has affected him more than he is letting on, Tsunade thought. The boy is taking it hard, a male voice said behind her, scaring the life out of her. Damn it, Jiraiya, Tsunade yelled as she grabbed her large chest. You almost gave me a heart attack, she told him. I am sorry, Naruto is taking it hard, he said as he looked at the door. Jiraiya, I will need you to meet up with Naruto a year into his desertion. Tsunade told him. Bring him to Mount Mayaboku to train with the toads. Tsunade ordered him. What they will be teaching him will be tough on him, Jiraiya told Tsunade as he remembered the grueling training the toads put him through. He shivered at the food they forced him to eat. But it would be worth it, Tsunade told him. Outside the Hokage Tower, Naruto walked out of the tower with his mind abuzz. How am I going to deal with the fact that I hurt Hinata? But if I don't leave, she will get hurt. But if I stay, I might be able to keep her from being hurt. Naruto's thoughts were all along this line. He was brought out of his musing when he felt a hand on his shoulder. Naruto turned to see Hinata with a worried look. What is wrong, Naruto-kun? Hinata asked worriedly. Their friends all looked worried except for Gaara and Neji. They both had expressionless expressions. Nothing, Tsunade just told me about an incredibly difficult mission I will have to go on in the future. Naruto told her truthfully. He isn't telling me everything, Hinata thought. Hey Hinata, want to go on a date? Naruto asked as Hinata nodded. Maybe I can get whatever he isn't telling me, Hinata thought as she nodded, and the two walked away from their friends. It has been a week since the trial and things have mostly gone back to normal. Tsunade has started sending genin teams out where they had to fight tougher opponents. She was doing it so discreetly that no one could see it unless they were looking. The Rookie 12 were taking on some of the hardest missions. Naruto was taking on B and A ranked missions while the others took B ranked. Naruto had finally gotten a day off, and was doing some light training when he caught the scent of lavender in the air. Hello Hinata-chan, Naruto said as he struck the post. What is wrong, Naruto-kun? Hinata asked. Nothing, Naruto said as he placed his mask on. Drop it, Naruto, I know when you are lying, she told him with an edge on her voice. It isn't your problem, I have just been thinking about a mission I will be going on soon, Naruto told her. Naruto-kun, if you are sad, it is my problem, she told him quietly as she caressed his cheek. Naruto nuzzled into her hand. I wish I could tell you, but it will put you in danger, Naruto whispered to her. Just tell me that you will be fine, Hinata told him. I can't tell you that because not even I know what will happen, Naruto told her. Just try to be safe, she told him as she wrapped her arms around his neck. I will do my best, Naruto whispered to her as he pulled her closer and kissed her deeply. The two heard a whistle and they quickly separated to see their friends walking up to them. Hinata sent a glare at them. Who interrupted us? Hinata growled as they all pointed to Kiba. What? Kiba exclaimed as Hinata appeared behind him and dragged him away. They are lying, Hinata! Kiba yelled as Hinata dragged him behind a tree, and a few seconds later a high-pitched girly scream was heard. Hinata walked back out dragging an unconscious Kiba. What did you do to him? Tenten asked. Oh, I just cast a simple genjutsu on him that made him think he was in a room with no way out, Hinata said. That doesn't seem enough to knock him out, Neji said. Oh, did I forget to tell you that the room had cats appearing in it, Hinata said. He just pissed himself, Naruto said. How do you know that? Lee asked as Naruto pointed to the puddle underneath him. That is gross, Shino said as Shikamaru pulled the camera out and took a picture. So what do you guys want? Naruto asked. We came to find out why the civilians hate you, Neji said as he saw Naruto tense. I can see that this is a testy subject, he added. You could say that, Naruto said as Hinata grabbed his hand. You all know what happened 13 years ago, Naruto asked. Yeah, the Yondaime fought and killed the Kyuubi, Sakura said. How was the Kyuubi killed? Naruto asked. I don't know, Sakura told him. The Kyuubi was never killed, Naruto told them, shocking them. The Yondaime did the only he could with a creature of Kyuubi's power. He sealed it away, Naruto added, shocking them. Into a newborn baby to be exact, Naruto told them. That is horrible, Sakura gasped. It is, Naruto told her. Since Kyuubi was rested and wasn't weakened like with the first two Jinchurikis, Minato was forced to use the Shiki Fujin. It is a seal that a Jinchuriki cannot use. It calls forth the Shinigami, and at the cost of your soul and chakra you can seal anything away, Naruto explained. First two Jinchurikis? Neji asked. Mito Uzumaki Senju, the Shodai's wife, and Kushina Uzumaki, my mother, Naruto told them. That is where these scars came from. It was the influence of Kyuubi while I was in the womb. How was Kyuubi released? Shikamaru asked. A man in an orange mask. Naruto trailed off as he clenched his fist and turned towards the training post and punched it as hard as he could. They watched as the training post exploded due to the force of the punch. Hinata placed her hand on his shoulder. "It is okay, Naruto-kun," Hinata whispered to him. Naruto took a breath and became calmer. A man with an orange mask broke into the barrier that was set up for my birthing. Naruto told them he could sense the questions coming. The reason the barrier was set up is because during birth the seal is at its weakest and a civilian could break the seal. Naruto told them. Well, the man took me away from the previous elders that he had killed. He ordered Minato to get away from my mother or else he would kill me. Naruto told them and heard the girls gasp. Naruto-kun never told me this, Hinata thought. When Minato was far enough away, the man threw me outside, forcing Minato to use the Haraishin no Jutsu to catch me in time. Naruto swallowed the lump in his throat. Minato instantly transported me to the safe house where he laid me on a bed. While Minato was taking care of me, the man had released the Kyuubi from my mother and took over the Kyuubi's mind. Minato instantly went out and brought my dying mother back to me while he fought the man. But the man was using a technique where he could make himself intangible. And Minato Namikaze, being smarter, stronger, has more endurance, and more stamina than Might Guy, Shikaku Nara, and Kakashi Hatake combined. He was able to injure the man, and then gave the Kyuubi enough control back to stop all of her attacks. Minato instantly went back to my mother, as she was trying to draw the Kyuubi back into herself so Kyuubi would die with her. Naruto-kun, why have I not heard of this? Hinata interrupted him. Because this man is the co-creator of Akatsuki. Naruto told her as she gasped. Now where was I? Oh yes, my mother was pulling Kyuubi back into herself but didn't have enough chakra to do so. Her life force was leaving her. She wanted me to at least have a family to live with. Naruto told them. She knew that if she couldn't reseal the Kyuubi into herself, Minato would use the Shikifujin. But all she could do is hold the raged Kyuubi in place, allowing Minato to cast the Shikifujin. Normally the Shinigami would use the caster for the sealing process, but instead he used the child. Naruto said, lifting his shirt to show the intricate seal. He sealed Kyuubi into me. Naruto told them, shocking them even more. Naruto swallowed as his friends digested this new information. Hinata, did you know of this? Sakura asked. Most of it. But what happened to his mother he never told me. Hinata told her pinkette friend. YOSH, my eternal rival is an amazing hero. Lee shouted as everyone's sweat dropped at the boy's antiques. Don't worry, Naruto, I know a bit about seals. Tenten said, smiling at him. Just because a kunai is sealed in a scroll doesn't make the scroll a kunai, she told him. If Hinata-sama trusts you, then I do, Neji said. Well, that is Team Guy, Naruto thought. People don't like my clan because of our symbiotic relationship with bugs, Shino said. I will not hate you for something that was forced onto you. Shishai knew you were strong, Naruto, but this is unreal, Kiba said, smirking. Now I know where your cunningness came from. Who had recently woken up. What has the villagers done to you? Shikamaru asked. I don't think you can handle what they have done with me, Naruto told him seriously. Naruto, please tell us, Sakura pressed. Fine. But don't say I didn't warn you, Naruto said before he started to tell them about the brutal beatings, starvation, assassination attempts, neglect, and ostracation from the most of the village. During all this, Choji had stopped eating. The girls started to cry about what the villagers did to him. Kiba, Neji, Lee, and surprisingly Shino were all pissed. But even with all of what they have done to me, I will still protect this village that my father and mother gave their lives for, Naruto told them. How could they do that to a child? Sakura croaked out behind her tears. The villagers do not know the mentality of a shinobi and didn't understand, and what they do not understand they fear and hate it, Naruto told her. Naruto, you said your father was killed during the Kyuubi attack, but only a handful of people died, Shikamaru told Naruto. Who is your father? He asked, already having suspicions about it. Have you guys wondered why the Yandame's picture is not hung up anywhere? Naruto asked. Besides the Hokage monument, Naruto added as they all nodded. Naruto reached into his pocket and pulled out a worn-out picture. He showed it to them and they gasped. On the picture was Kushina Uzumaki, Minato Namikaze, and Tsukumo Hatake. The Red Death of Konoha, my mother, the White Fang of Konoha, Tsukumo Hatake, Kakashi's father, and the Yellow Flash of Konoha, Minato Namikaze. Guess which is my father? Naruto replaced the picture into his pocket. My parentage is an S-rank secret, meaning if you talk about it you will be executed without a trial. It is to protect me from my father's enemies. How many of them could be still alive? Kiba asked. Try every single person in IWA. Naruto said flatly. My father, mother, and Tsukumo took out an entire regiment of IWA shinobi in less than 5 minutes. So let me get this straight, you are the son of the 2 strongest shinobi in the world? Shikamaru asked as Naruto nodded. I am never fighting you again, Kiba stated. I will work until I match your power of youth. Lee yelled, making everyone's sweat drop. Again. Sure. Naruto trailed off. Kiba is a pervert. Naruto thought. Hey Kiba. Naruto said, gaining Kiba's attention. Sexy jutsu. Naruto said as he transformed into a 16-year-old naked girl with a pair of fox ears and a fox tail. Kiba instantly rocketed backwards thanks to a bloody nose. Nah. Are you? 2. 3 voices said as Naruto turned to see very pissed off girls as he turned back into his regular self. Sakura. Ino. Tenten. Don't do this. Naruto said as he saw Sakura and Ino cracking their knuckles while Tenten pulled out several scrolls. Oh Naruto-kun. Naruto heard behind him. He trailed off as he saw Hinata growing her wings. Crap. He said. Well, this was a good talk, so bye. Naruto exclaimed as the 4 attacked him and he vanished in a sphere of black. Naruto walked into Tsunade's office to see piles of paperwork on her desk. She was slowly going through each pile. She looked up to see Naruto. Naruto, what are you doing here? Tsunade asked as she moved the pile of paperwork out of her way. I have a bad feeling about IWA. Naruto told her. I don't know what it is, but I know that it is bad. I want to go investigate it. Naruto added as her eyes widened. Say what now? Tsunade asked. I want a mission to go investigate Iwa's territory. Naruto told her. No way! Tsunade exclaimed. That is the most stupidest thing I have ever heard. She exclaimed at him. I know it might sound stupid, but think like this: what if they are making something that could decide whether we win or lose in a war? Naruto asked. Tsunade let out a small growl. Fine, but you will not go alone. Tsunade told him. I wasn't planning on it. Naruto said. Who do you think should come? Jiraiya, of course, Shikamaru, Kakashi, and Kurenai. Tsunade told him. But this will be an S-ranked white mission. She told him as his eyes widened. You mean this will be a no paperwork, no record mission where if we are caught you declare us as missing neens? Naruto clarified as Tsunade nodded as she snapped her fingers and 4 Umbu appeared. Get me Kakashi Hatake, Jiraiya, Shikamaru Nara, and Kurenai Yuhi. Tsunade ordered as they nodded and vanished. Naruto, you do realize that those 3 will have to learn the reason why you are going. I am sure Kakashi knows who my father is. Shikamaru is pretty smart, so I think he probably knows. But I don't know about Kurenai-sensei. Naruto told her as she nodded when Shikamaru and Kurenai walked through the door while Kakashi and Jiraiya opted through the window. What do you want, Tsunade-chan? You interrupted my researching, Jiraiya said. Naruto. Tsunade said as he nodded and threw a seal onto the floor and a dark hue appeared on the walls and floors. Naruto has requested a mission. What kind of mission needs 2 jounin, a sannin and a genius? Kurenai asked. An S-ranked whitelist mission, Tsunade said as their eyes widened. Naruto is going to invade IWA territory. Tsunade, that is dangerous, Jiraiya exclaimed. I know, and so does he. Tsunade told him. Why is it dangerous? Aren't we at peace with them? Kakashi asked. Not quite, Tsunade told him. Recently they have replaced the sand-aimed Tsuchikage. Tsunade told them. The following information is a SS-ranked secret. She told them. You can leave now if you don't want to know. She added, but none moved. The new Tsuchikage has learned the heritage of one of our shinobi and demands we hand him over to prevent a war with them. Tsunade said. How is that something to go to war other? Kurenai asked. This person is the Yondame's heir, Tsunade said as Kakashi's eyes widened. But all the Namikes were killed during the last war and the Kyuubi attack, Kurenai exclaimed. Not really, Minato's wife gave birth before she died, Tsunade said. Does Hinata know? Kurenai finally asked. Yes, of course she knows, Naruto told Kurenai. So why is it that you want to invade IWA even though they are hunting you? Shikamaru asked. I have a bad feeling about something and it could mean something bad for Konoha, Naruto said. Troublesome. Why us? Kakashi asked. Jiraiya and yourself are ninjutsu masters, Kurenai is a genjutsu mistress while Shikamaru is a genius, Tsunade told him. You are the perfect strike force. I will not force you to come with me, Naruto told them. I know of one more person to help us. Who? Naruto? Gaara Shubaku. Naruto said. You are in luck, him and his sister is here. Tsunade told him. You can ask him to come if you want. Tsunade added as Naruto nodded. Okay, I will go ask him now, Naruto said as he ripped the seal off and vanished in a sphere of black. With Gaara. Gaara was meditating in his room when he heard something move. He cracked open his eye to see a cloaked person. Hello, Naruto, Gaara said. Hey, Gaara, Naruto replied. I have a big favor. I will do it, Gaara said, shocking Naruto. I owe you a lot, Naruto. I could probably do 1,000 favors and still be indebted to you. Gaara, this is something incredibly serious, Naruto told him. It could mean you being a missing nin if things go bad. Okay, Gaara said simply. We are going to invade Iwa, Naruto told him as he nodded. When do we leave? Gaara asked. I will contact you, Naruto told him before disappearing as the door opened. Gaara, who are you talking to? Temari asked. Shikaka was buzzing in my head again, Gaara told her as she nodded. Are you okay? Temari asked as he nodded. I might not be here tomorrow, Gaara told her. Why? She asked but didn't get a reply. Well, be safe wherever you are going, Temari told him before leaving. Late at night, Naruto had sent clones out to gather the team. It didn't take them long to get to him. He saw that they were all battle ready. He nodded to them and they all leapt away. Naruto, where are we going? Shikamaru asked. I have the feeling whatever is making me uneasy is by a body of water, Naruto told him as they leapt as silence took over again. The sun was cresting over the horizon when Naruto held his hand up to stop. The group besides Gaara looked haggard. We will rest for a little while, Naruto told him as a collective sigh was heard and they all sat against a tree. Naruto pulled out a map and looked at it. If we continue at this pace, we will make it to the ocean shore in 2 or 3 days, Naruto thought. Where are we going first? Jiraiya asked. The ocean shore, Naruto told him. We will search the shoreline and if we find nothing we will move to lakes. It will take us at least 5 days to get there if we take rests, Jiraiya told him as Naruto nodded. I know you don't have my endurance and stamina, Naruto told him. We will have to be careful once we enter Iwa territory, he added as Jiraiya nodded. Naruto looked to see everyone but Jiraiya and Gaara sleeping. You two should sleep, Naruto advised. What about you? Gaara asked. I have enough energy to make it to the coast without sleep, Naruto told him. And some to spare, Jiraiya muttered before leaning against the tree and closed his eyes. How has Shikaka been doing at night? Naruto asked. Oh, thanks to Might Guy and Rock Lee I can sleep at night now, Gaara told him. That horrible unbreakable genjutsu, Naruto muttered as both Naruto and Gaara shivered. How long can you stay awake? Naruto asked. Without meditating 2 days, Gaara told him. How long before you need to sleep? Naruto asked. About 7 days, Gaara told him. Okay, so you and I will alternate keeping watch while the others sleep, Naruto told him as he nodded as when to meditate. Naruto sat down and closed his eyes. Naruto's mindscape. Naruto opened his eyes to see the lush forest again. He saw Kyubi sitting in front of several bookcases sorting scrolls. You know it is a pain in the ass to sort all these, Kyubi told him. You shouldn't have told me to make 200 plus clones to train, Naruto countered. I know, she said with a sigh. So what did you want? She asked. Do you have any idea what is happening in Iwa? Naruto asked. No, but my messengers of Kami have told me that there is a major disturbance there that could jeopardize the entire world, Kyubi told him. They didn't say what it is or where it is, just that it is evil. Okay, thanks, Naruto told her. You should get back, your team is waking, Kyubi told him as he nodded. Real world. Naruto's eyes opened to see Kurenai and Kakashi starting to stir. Naruto stood and walked over to Shikamaru and kicked him in the ass, waking him up rudely. Damn blondes, Shikamaru said, irritated as he stood. Naruto walked over to the sleeping Jiraiya. There are naked ladies everywhere, Naruto said quietly as Jiraiya's eyes snapped open and he leapt to his feet and had a notebook and pen out in less than a second. Naruto blinked at the speed before shaking his head. He saw that Kurenai was awake and was combing out her hair while Kakashi twisted in his sleep. Naruto sighed and walked over to Kakashi. Kurenai looked weirdly at him when he bent down next to Kakashi's ear. Look, the new Ika Ika book is on sale, Naruto whispered as Kakashi got up in the same fashion as Jiraiya did except for having cash in his hand. He looked around. That wasn't funny, Naruto, Kakashi said as Kurenai couldn't help but giggle. Maybe so, but I woke you up in less than 2 seconds, Naruto told him with a smile. Eat up, we are moving in 15 minutes. Naruto said as they nodded as he pulled out a ration bar and stuffed it into his mouth and chewed it before chasing it with water. He grimaced at the horrible taste. Ugh. Cardboard. Naruto mumbled with a shudder. Why can't they make these damn rations bar taste like something good? Like ramen, Naruto said as everyone's sweat dropped. It is good to see that you are still you, Naruto, Kurenai said as she shook her head at the boy. Why does everyone hate ramen? Naruto asked while shaking his head. I don't hate ramen, I just don't love it as much as you, Kurenai told him with a smirk. Time's up, everyone, Naruto said as they nodded and packed everything up. They all started leaping away. We are not stopping for 4 hours, Naruto told them. What did Kyuubi say, Naruto? Gaara asked. She said that her messengers of Kami said that something evil is in Iwa right now, Naruto told him. So you can converse with Kyuubi? Shikamaru asked as Naruto nodded. Right now she a bit ticked off at me because she told me to use 200 plus clones to train while she sorts everything out. Apparently she didn't expect me to be learning so many jutsus, Naruto said with a smirk as he heard a low growl in his head. So what is she like? Shikamaru asked. That depends, Naruto told him. During battles she is cold-hearted and wouldn't hesitate to kill if it meant someone precious to her will live. Outside of it, she is kind-hearted and would help me out with things, Naruto added. I am not cold-hearted, Kyuubi exclaimed indignantly. Is she smart? Shikamaru asked. Shikamaru, she is several thousand years old, I am sure she is smart, Naruto told him. Do you just want me to tell you everything I know about Kyuubi? Naruto asked flatly. That would be less troublesome, Shikamaru said lazily. Kyuubi is the queen of summons. She is the second most powerful being in existence that is alive, Naruto told him. Well, chakra-wise, she is the only tailed beast who remembers anything from when they were the 10-tailed beast. She loves to play pranks on me, most of which are being naked when I go to visit her. Is she hot? Shikamaru asked. I opt not to answer that, Naruto said as he felt Kurenai glaring at him. Oh, you better answer it or I tell Hinata, Kurenai told him threateningly. She has pulled that prank on Hinata too when I would summon Kyuubi to train with her, Naruto told her. Anyway, she is smart, I oftentimes play shogi with her. Never won one game, Naruto added. Silence from now on, Naruto said as they crossed the border. Naruto crossed his fingers and hundreds of clones appeared and they hinged into forest critters and went ahead. Why did you do that? Kurenai whispered. Advance notice, Naruto whispered back. They will dispel if an enemy is close, Naruto added as she nodded. Several hours later, Naruto held his hand up to signal them to stop, and they gratefully stopped before Naruto threw a seal onto the ground and a barrier was put up around them. It is safe to talk now, Naruto told them. Naruto, how long do we have to rest? Kakashi asked. At most an hour, Naruto told him. Anything more and it would be endangering us, Naruto said as he nodded and pulled his book out. What is that? Gaara asked curiously as he looked at the book. Oh, this is. Oh, you had better not try to turn that poor boy into a pervert, Kakashi Hatake, Kurenai said dangerously. Pervert? Gaara asked. Oh my, you are really innocent in this subject, Kurenai said. Well, I think it is time you two give these boys the talk, Kurenai said to Jiraiya and Kakashi. No thanks, Naruto said as he sat against a tree and ate another rations bar. Naruto, it is important to know the consequences, Kurenai said. Hormones leads to sex and when not careful sex leads to parenthood, Naruto said simply. That pretty much sums it up, Kakashi said. Sex? Gaara asked. Ask Shikaku, I am sure she will help you, Naruto said with a smirk. And a few seconds later a blush started to form on Gaara's cheeks and it grew darker with each second passed. Naruto's eyes widened. Everyone hide, Naruto exclaimed as he moved to a tree. An IWA team is moving this way, he said as he snatched the seal up and moved into the tree as Gaara sank into the ground with Kakashi and Jiraiya. Naruto had dropped to all fours and transformed into a small blonde fox, while Kurenai casted an advanced genjutsu around her, concealing herself from everyone. Kurenai watched as Naruto circled around before laid down on the ground when several people with IWA headbands landed next to him. Naruto looked up at the people. "Oh, look at the cute fox," a woman said as she lifted Naruto up and snuggled him. "There is no time for this, we have to get to IWA," a man said as the woman continued to snuggle him. "Take the fox with you, but we have to get there fast." "Shit, what are we going to do?" Kurenai thought as the group moved on. Kurenai waited 15 minutes before releasing the genjutsu. "This isn't good," she whispered as Kakashi, Jiraiya, and Gaara appeared. "What are you going to do?" Kakashi asked when a small bird landed in front of him before a puff of smoke appeared and Naruto was standing in front of him. "The boss is going to investigate IWA for us," the clone said. "He wants you to continue to the ocean and set up camp in a cave there, set up some kind of marker so he can find it," the clone ordered before puffing away. With Naruto, the woman had not released Naruto as they came to a large village. "This is your new home, Moiji-kun," the woman said as they walked into the village. "This is not good. How long can I keep this form up?" Naruto thought. "About 12 days. Kyubi told him as he wiggled out of the woman's grasp, climbed onto her head and placed his head on his paws as they moved. Someone with purple hair caught Naruto's attention. He lifted his head up and looked around to see a lot of shinobi looking at the woman. The people scowled and glared at the woman. "Who is that? She looks so familiar," Naruto thought as he continued to look at her. "That is Rin, you are not to go near her," the woman said. Naruto's eyes widened at the name. "Could that be the girl in my father's team?" Naruto thought as they moved to a tall tower. Nightfall. It was fairly dark out when Naruto slipped out of the house that the woman lived at, and he moved around looking for that woman. He sniffed the air and smelt a concentration of shinobi towards the center of the village. He moved towards the scent and saw 10 masked individuals watching a house intently. That must be where she lives, Naruto thought as he slowly moved towards the house. He peered into the house through a window to see the woman cooking dinner. On her wall was a Konoha headband. That has to be where she lives, Naruto thought as he searched around the house for a way in. He found a small hole in the side of the house and snuck in and walked up to the woman. She looked down at Naruto. "Oh, hello there, little guy," the woman said as she bent down with a strip of cooked meat and gave to him to gnaw on. She watched as Naruto dug his claw into the wood, creating a seal, and pushed chakra into it as a dark hue took over the walls. Naruto transformed back to his human form and she let out a shriek. Who are you?" she demanded. "Naruto Uzumaki," Naruto told her as her eyes widened. "Naruto!" she exclaimed before hugging him tightly. "It has been so long since I last saw you," she exclaimed before covering her mouth. She went to the window to look out, but the shinobi were unaffected. "Don't worry, they can neither hear nor see what we are doing in here. All they will see is you eating at your table," Naruto told her. "What are you doing here?" Rin demanded. "A mission I am on," Naruto told her. "I can get you out of here if you want," Naruto added. "But it will have to wait a while." "I would love to go back to Konoha," she told him. "What do you have to do?" "I have to gather information on the new Tsuchikage," Naruto told her. "Then we will meet up on the coast with my team," Naruto added. "Team?" "Ya Kurenai Yuhi, Shikamaru Nara, Gaara Shubaku, Jiraiya and Kakashi Hatake," Naruto told her as her eyes widened. "Kakashi-kun is there?" she asked with hopefulness in her eyes as Naruto nodded. "He was my Jounin sensei," Naruto told her. "I have to be going now," Naruto said as he transformed back into the blonde fox. "Stay safe," Naruto said before he ran off over to the seal and swiped his paw over it, making it disappear, and he ran through the hole and made it back to his temporary home to see the woman waiting for him. "Where have you been?" she demanded as Naruto walked to his bed and circled before plopping down onto the bed and fell asleep. "I have to find a way into the Tsuchikage's office to listen in on the meetings," Naruto thought as he laid still. He heard the woman walk into her room. He cracked an eye open and saw the light in her room go off, and he stood again and sat on his hind legs and crossed his paws and created a shadow clone and had to lay in his spot as he scampered off again towards the Tsuchikage tower. It didn't take Naruto long to make his way to the office and sneak in to see the Yondaime Tsuchikage and a man talking. Naruto scampered over to the two and leapt onto the desk. The two looked at the fox before Naruto snatched a piece of meat off the Tsuchikage's plate and munched on it before laying down on a pile of paperwork and laid his head on his paws. "Who is this?" the pale man asked. "This is a fox that one of my teams found," the Tsuchikage said. "Now Orochimaru-sama, how many more people do you need?" he asked as Naruto's ears twitched at the name. Well, if you want an unstoppable army, I will need as many as possible, Kenji-kun. Orochimaru told him. These creatures will have no mind and will serve the person that has the password. Orochimaru added. These beasts, besides their massive chakra supply, what else is there? Kenji asked. Oh well, because of my ability to gain the Sharingan, I have been able to clone the eyes and implant them into the eyes of the beasts. Orochimaru told Kanji, and Naruto's blue-slitted eyes widened. Orochimaru went to pet Naruto, but he snipped at Orochimaru. Hey! Do not worry, Kenji-kun, foxes do not like snakes very well. Orochimaru said with a smile before he stood and left. Naruto stood too and slipped out the door before it closed, and he ran off. This is not good, Naruto thought. Sasuke was incredibly hard to beat with his curse seal active. If we have an army coming, it will be a hard war to win, Naruto thought as he slipped into the house again and dispelled the fox clone and laid down again. With the team had stopped for the night, and Gaara stayed up to watch over them. This isn't good, I am getting a bad feeling. Something like dread as we get closer to the ocean, Gaara thought. Kyuubi sent one of messengers to me. Apparently Orochimaru and the new Tsuchikage are in league together. They are creating Sharingan curse seal monsters. Shikamaru told him as an audible gasp escaped him that stirred Kurenai from her light slumber. What is wrong, Gaara? Kurenai asked. Shikamaru got word from Kyuubi, Gaara said slowly. It isn't good. Apparently the Tsuchikage and Orochimaru are in league with each other. The messenger said that Orochimaru is making Sharingan-powered monsters. Kurenai's eyes widened. Naruto also found a woman named Rin. She was said to be dead, Kurenai said. Anyways, I will take over, you should sleep, Kurenai told him. I am fine, Gaara told her. I will stay up and talk with you then, she told him. So how is it having the Shikamaru sealed in you? She asked bluntly. It gets difficult. Before I met two strange green monsters it became bearable, Gaara told her stoically. Only Guy and Lee could scare one of the tailed beasts, Kurenai thought. Yeah, they can be a bit odd. I can still see it. It burns so much, Shikamaru yelled in Gaara's head. Shikamaru still gets moments where she sees that odd genjutsu, he added. You know, I have never been able to figure out how they cast that and keep it from being broken, Kurenai commented offhandedly. Maybe they open one of the 8 gates to keep it from being broken, she thought out loud. Chapter 31. 1 week later, Naruto had slipped into Rin's house again and pushed chakra into the seal on the floor and encloaked the room in a dark hue. It is time to go, Rin, Naruto told her. He saw that she was dressed in dark clothing and had her backpack on her back. I am going to seal you into a scroll so I can carry you out, Naruto told her as he placed a scroll in front of her. I will unseal you in a few hours. I should be a ways out of Iwa before they figure out that we are gone, Naruto added as he pushed chakra into the seal. What will it feel like? Rin asked a bit nervously as the smoke started to swirl around her legs. Kinda like a dream, but you won't get any rest, Naruto told her as she vanished and the kanji for human appeared on the scroll. Naruto rolled the scroll up and placed it into his cloak pocket and transformed into his fox form. He slipped out the hole in the wall and made his way to the main gates to see it being guarded heavily. This will be harder than I thought, Naruto thought as he started to walk towards the gate. Naruto saw a shadow encompass him. Going hunting? One of the guards asked as Naruto tilted his head to the side in mock confusion. Well, don't be out too late, your master will worry, he added as Naruto slipped by. Wow, in Konoha they would be more suspicious if an Inuzuka dog walked out of the village unattended, he thought as he started to run away. Once out of the view of the main gate, Naruto made himself grow in size. Naruto was now barreling towards the ocean shore line when his Kitsune-enhanced abilities warned him that Iwa had found out that Rin was missing. They are so stupid, Naruto thought as he lowered his head and increased his speed. Naruto's keen eyes were darting around as he looked for marks of his teammates. I shouldn't have waited so long. I could have smelt where they were, he thought again. Naruto was shocked when he flew off of a cliff and blinked a few times before he started to plummet towards the waters below him. Naruto flung his tail out behind him and latched onto a branch. As he fell, Naruto slammed into the cliff wall and pushed chakra into his paws and stopped his descent. That could have ended badly, he thought as he looked at the jagged rocks at the bottom of the fall. Naruto could smell the faint smell of his team in the air. He turned and saw that towards the bottom of the cliff there was an anomaly where the waves went through the cliff wall. Naruto started to trudge down the cliff wall. He could smell his team more strongly now. He was about to walk into the cave when a massive wave hit him. Naruto scowled a bit as the water soaked him. He slipped into the cave to see they were up. I see that you are here, Naruto, Jiraiya said as he looked at the soaked blonde fur ball. It is good that you are in perfect order. He joked as Naruto glared at them for laughing. Naruto suddenly formed a toothy grin as Gaara threw up a sand shield and Kurenai hid behind Gaara as Naruto shook himself dry. Jiraiya and Kakashi were soaked. Yeah, I am fine, Naruto commented as he started to transform back and stood up tall. Well, you two look fine, Naruto said with a smile as Jiraiya and Kakashi glared at him, while Kurenai laughed at the two soaked men. Naruto cracked his neck before pulling a scroll out and placed it onto the ground and pushed chakra into it. Suddenly a cyclone of smoke appeared and was soon blown away to show the beautiful brunette known as Rin. Kakashi openly gaped at her. Rin-chan? Kakashi stuttered. Oh, don't Rin-chan me, Kakashi Hatake, Rin said angrily as she glared at him. Jiraiya let out a bark of laughter and she turned to him. Oh, you don't have a right to laugh, Mr. Godfather, she added as she glared at the now two sweating men. Oh, when this mission is over, Kakashi, you and I will have a little talk, Rin told him before she turned to Jiraiya. And you? She trailed off menacingly. I will be telling Tsunade about that time I caught you peeping on her, she told him as the two men finally fell to the ground and were in the fetal position. Rin turned to the remaining team and smiled happily at them. So what is there to eat? She asked as they just stared at her. A fish, Kurenai said. Are all women in Konoha that scary? Gaara asked Shikamaru and Naruto. Pretty much, the two said. Several hours later, so we will skirt the shoreline for a while until we find something suspicious? Rin asked as Naruto nodded. Seems like a long shot, she told him. Well, if it is nothing, then you guys get paid for being on vacation, Naruto said with a smile. He does have a point there, Kakashi pointed out. No talking, Kakashi, Rin told him. He was about to go back to reading his book when Rin snatched it out of his hands and threw it into the fire. Ops, my hand slipped, she lied as Kakashi looked at the burning book like it was a sin to nature. He had tears running down his cheeks with Jiraiya being similar next to him. Damn perverts, she grumbled. Ha! Naruto said as Kakashi and Jiraiya glared at him. Shut up, Naruto, Kakashi said with anime tears running down his cheeks. It is just a book, Naruto said while shaking his head. It isn't Kami reincarnate, Naruto said jokingly. Anyways, we should rest up a little while before continuing. I used up a lot of chakra from being in fox form for so long, he added with a yawn. I carved out cubbies in the back of the cave, Gaara told him. I also ground the rocks down to make an adequate bedding, he explained. Thanks, Gaara, you are a good friend, Naruto said as he went towards the back to see several cubbies carved into the wall, and he picked the closest one and crawled into it, and was soon asleep. Several more hours later, Naruto woke up to the sounds of several people snoring. He shimmied back out of the cubby to see most of them were filled. He went to the main part of the cave and saw that Jiraiya was watching the entrance. Morning, Naruto, Jiraiya said without turning. Morning, he replied. How long have I been out? Almost 10 hours, Jiraiya told him. We caught fish over the week that we were separated and smoked it. If you are hungry, you are free to get some, he added as Naruto took some of the fish and started to eat it. This is so much better than the raw meat I was forced to eat while in IWA, he commented. You can eat raw meat? Jiraiya asked as Naruto nodded. But only in my fox form, Naruto added as he bit another piece of fish off the slab of meat. So we will move out when everyone has woken and eaten, Naruto asked as Jiraiya nodded solemnly. What is wrong? I knew Orochimaru is evil, but this is just wrong of him, Jiraiya said. I never thought he would take people and make them into those things, he growled. I know how it feels, Naruto agreed. I never thought that Sasuke would go crazy like he did. And look where that got me, Naruto added as he rubbed his chest. I guess we were doomed from the start, huh, Naruto? Jiraiya said with a sad chuckle. Yeah, you're right, Naruto agreed with the same type of chuckle. But I will make Sasuke pay, he said with a low growl before smiling. But I am sure I left a lasting impression on him, Naruto added before he went to tell Jiraiya about his encounter with Sasuke. Damn, Naruto, that must have been a brutal fight, Jiraiya told him as he nodded while Rin and Kurenai walked down into the main room with Gaara trailing behind them. Do I have to worry about Panda-kun staring at my ass? Rin asked. Nah, he is as innocent as a baby, Kurenai said. Why would I stare at your ass? Gaara asked, confused as Naruto slammed his palm against his head. Wow, they really didn't teach you anything, Naruto said with a smirk. They just taught me to kill, Gaara told him, making him sigh when Kakashi lazily walked in. So that leaves Shikamaru before we leave, Naruto said. But knowing him, he wouldn't get up till noon, Naruto joked as they all chuckled. Wait here, Naruto said as he got up and walked towards the beds and they looked curiously before they heard a disgruntled scream, and soon they saw Naruto come back dragging Shikamaru. I hate you, Naruto, Shikamaru grunted as they sat around the small fire. So which way will we go? Naruto asked as they started to eat. I have had one of my tracker toads go that way, Jiraiya told him while pointing to the wall. So far he hasn't reported anything, he added. So we will go the opposite way, Naruto said. Do we even know what we are looking for? Kurenai asked. Something out of the ordinary, he told her as he stood up. We will hug the cliff wall and don't make too much noise, Naruto said as they nodded. 10 hours later, they had been moving nonstop and they came to a bend on the cliff, and Naruto looked around the bend and saw a large structure built into the cliff wall. He saw several boats in front of the big metal door. I think we have found it, Naruto told them quietly before ducking behind the bend again. Jiraiya, do you know any Earth-style ninjutsu to make us a cave or something for rooms? Naruto asked. Yeah, Jiraiya said as he went through a few hand signs and slammed his fist against the wall, and it soon started to crumble away. They walked into the cavern to see that it was 20 feet long and roughly 10 feet wide. How is this? Jiraiya asked. Good, Naruto said. Gaara, can you work on making another room that will be used as a bathroom and make those cubbies again? He asked as Gaara nodded and went and started to grind the stones into the required things. What will we do now? Shikamaru asked. Recon tomorrow, Naruto told them. Since Gaara and I are the most powerful out of our group, we will check those boats while you guys search around the building, Naruto said. I think I should go with you, Naruto, Jiraiya said. No, you are pretty strong too, so you should go with the others. Having all three of us in one group would decrease our overall strength, Naruto said. So Shikamaru, you will stay here, Kakashi and Rin will be in one group while Kurenai and Jiraiya are in the other, Naruto explained. And Shikamaru knows sleeping. Troublesome, he muttered. If he is asleep when you get back, just kick him in the ass, Naruto told everyone. Since I have the most energy, I will dive to catch fish, he said as he unsheathed his katana. He moved to the mouth of the man-made cave and looked out before diving into the waters. Soon Naruto came back with a massive fish. Everyone's mouth dropped open at the sight of it. Stupid fish came to me, Naruto commented. A Naruto, that isn't a normal fish, Kakashi said. That is a great white shark. If it was coming at you, then it wanted to eat you, Kakashi explained to Naruto. If you look in its mouth, you will see teeth, he added, and Naruto pulled his katana out of the shark's gills and forced its mouth open. Hey, what do you know? Naruto said as he looked into the mouth. He reached in and pulled out one of the teeth. It was roughly the size of his palm. He pocketed it quickly. So how should I cut this up? Naruto asked as he brandished his katana. Cut them up into slabs, Jiraiya told him as Naruto's arm instantly became a blur of movement, and he soon sheathed the katana and the shark fell to pieces. That should be enough for a while, Naruto said. Kakashi, Rin and I will use an invisibility jutsu and go get wood for us, Kurenai said as the three did a few hand signs and vanished. Be back in an hour, she told them. There was something wrong when I went diving, Naruto told them seriously. What is it, Naruto? Jiraiya asked. I saw levels underwater, but absolutely no fish or living thing was near that place, Naruto told them. That is odd, Jiraiya commented. Don't go down there, Naruto told him. It could be toxic or something. With the QB I am able to handle a lot of toxicants without much effect. Gaara and I will look at it because we are Jinchurikis and our immune system is high, so we can fight off mostly anything. Are you sure? Jiraiya asked as Naruto nodded. Then we won't tell the others that there are lower levels yet, he added as Naruto and Gaara nodded. The next day, I don't like water, Gaara mumbled as he looked at the water. Now you tell us, Naruto grumbled as he dived into the water and soon surfaced. Just jump in, Gaara, Naruto said a bit irritated. But I don't like water, Gaara said again as Naruto's annoyance level peaks, and he swam to the edge and pulled Gaara in by his legs. Then now you are in the water, so it doesn't matter anymore, Naruto told him as he glared at Naruto. Naruto just shrugged the glare off and started to slowly swim towards the boats. Naruto made a quickly pointed to the other boat, and Gaara nodded and moved to the boat. He pulled himself up onto the boat deck and pulled his katana out. He slowly made his way around the deck and found no one, so he went down the stairs, and what he saw shocked him. He saw claw marks and deep gouges on the walls and floor. What the hell is this? Naruto thought as he walked into one of the cells and looked at the chains and the claw marks. It looks like they were holding beasts in here. He thought again when he heard a bird call and quickly went to the roof to see Gaara on the deck waving him over. Naruto quickly leapt onto the water and onto the other boat. What is it? Naruto whispered as Gaara pointed to the floor, and Naruto saw a red-headed girl. You have got to be kidding me. Naruto growled. I found her in the hold. It looked like she was hiding, and when she saw me she looked ready to scream, so I knocked her out. Gaara told him. We have to take her with us. He added as Naruto sighed. Fine, but you have to take care of her, Naruto said harshly before turning back to the waters. We should get going before the owners find us, Naruto said as he nodded, and the two jumped into the water. Gaara was holding the girl as they moved. This isn't good, he thought as he glanced at the girl. It took the two longer to get to the cave. They pulled themselves into the cave and saw the rest waiting for them. So what did you guys figure out? Naruto asked as he pulled himself out of the water and soon pulled Gaara out with the girl. Who is she? Jiraiya asked. Gaara found her on the boat, Naruto said flatly. Rin, can you check her over to make sure she is in perfect health? Sure, Naruto, Rin said as she walked to the girl. The ship, I investigated it, was weird, Naruto told them. They had cells similar to shinobi ones, they had chains, and when I touched them Kyuubi's chakra was sapped away, Naruto added, shocking them. The only thing I could think of is that they are used for holding something with tainted chakra, or non-human chakra, Naruto said. What about your ship? Naruto asked Gaara. Just a lot of bunks, as if they were used to transport people, Gaara said as they heard a groan and turned to the girl who was now hunched in the corner looking in terror at the group. Who are you guys? The girl stuttered. We cannot tell you that, Kurenai told her gently as she walked over to the scared girl. Don't worry, we won't hurt you, Naruto, give me some food, she ordered as he nodded and threw her a slab of smoked shark meat and a bottle of water. Here, you can have this, she told the girl as she handed the meat and water over, and she started to eat it greedily. So what is your name? Matsuri, she stuttered between bites of food. Well, it is nice to meet you, Matsuri. Sorry to tell you this, but we cannot let you leave this cave until we are finished here, Kurenai told her. But we have plenty of food for you to stay with us, she added as the girl nodded and continued to eat. If she keeps eating like that she will get sick, Naruto said before the girl threw up. She's your problem, Naruto told Gaara. 32. 1 week later, Naruto was watching the entrance while the others were out patrolling and looking for a way in. Naruto and Gaara had explored the lower levels for a distance but didn't find much the first few levels, so they decided to get out before pushing their lucks. What would you like? Naruto asked without looking up. How did you know I was here? Matsuri asked before sitting next to him. My nose is hypersensitive, and I could smell you coming towards me, Naruto told her. Are you saying I smell bad? Matsuri asked. A little, Naruto told her. Well, sorry that I can't take a bath, she grunted, making Naruto sigh. I would make you a bath, but I am a wind user, Naruto said. Wind user? She asked, confused as Naruto hung his head. Most shinobi can use chakra willingly, Naruto said. Yagara-kun explained that to me, she told him. Okay, that makes this a bit easier, Naruto said. A shinobi has an elemental affinity, either wind, fire, water, earth, or lightning. There are sub-elements, but I will explain those soon. My main affinity is wind, meaning I can easily manipulate the wind rather than moving the earth or ocean, Naruto explained. So what are sub-elements? She asked. Sub-elements are when you mix two or more of the main elements together, Naruto told her. Like water and earth can create either mud style or wood styles. Earth and lighting you can create magnetism. Wind and water you can make ice. There is really an infinite amount of elements you can create, Naruto told her. Wow, you guys must be really powerful, she said. I am not powerful, Naruto told her. Just cursed a little while after I was born. What do you mean? Matsuri asked, but saw him flinch back into his cloak a little. You don't have to tell me. Don't worry about it, Naruto told her. Shortly after I was born, the Kyuubi no Kitsune attacked the village I lived at. The most powerful person in our village, the Yandame Hokage, used a forbidden Uzumaki clan seal called the Shiki Fujin. At the sacrifice of his soul, he sealed Kyuubi's soul and chakra into me," he said, shocking her. "I heard Jinchurikis were evil, but you are. Well, not," Matsuri said. "The tailed beasts aren't demons as everyone makes them out to me," Naruto told her. "They are just mass amounts of chakra that took forms of different animals and took the leadership of their respective summoned species. It was the bad ones of the bunch that gave them their bad names. For example, the Shikaku and Sanbai were well evil." "Wow," Matsuri whispered. "So do you have a significant other even though you are a Jinchuriki?" she asked as Naruto chuckled. "Yes, I do," Naruto told her while looking towards the ceiling. "You love her, don't you?" Matsuri asked. "With all my heart," he told her. "I wish I had someone to love," Matsuri said. "But you do, a certain red-headed gourd-carrying teen," Naruto said as Matsuri flushed brightly. "What are you talking about?" she stuttered, making Naruto smirk. "I know the way you look at him," Naruto told her. "My girlfriend acted the same way around me." "Well, not quite, you aren't as bad," Naruto added with a smirk. "You are shy, blush and watch him when you think no one is looking." "Is it that obvious?" she asked with a sigh. "You have to know that Gaara and I are similar. We weren't shown love until we were older, so it is hard for us to identify love," Naruto warned her. "Probably just short of kissing him, and he won't know," Naruto told her as she flushed deeply when the others started to come into the cave and saw the blushing Matsuri. "Naruto, what did you do to the girl?" Kurenai asked. "Oh, you know, just talking," Naruto told her with a smile. "Anyways, what have you found?" "There doesn't seem to be any other ways into the building other than that metal gate," Kurenai told him. "We have searched almost every inch within a mile," she added. "Tonight I will go down the building again, maybe I could find a way in through down there," Naruto told them. "The only reason we came back the first time is because Gaara's immune system isn't as high as mine. I should be able to last underwater for a lot longer without anything happening to me," Naruto told them as he stood and stretched. "I will be back in a while," Naruto said before diving into the waters. "He always goes in head first," Kurenai said with a sigh as Jiraiya and Kakashi nodded. With Naruto was diving deeper into the murky waters. He could see lights gleaming deeper. "Just a little lower and I should be able to find out what is down here," Naruto thought as he started to kick harder. He came to the first light and saw an empty room. He quickly moved away as the door in the room opened. He peeked in to see a couple of men throwing dead bodies into the room. "What are they doing?" he thought as he hugged the wall and tried to hear something. "Looks like batch was failure," Naruto heard the muffled voices. "What do they mean?" Naruto thought before he started to swim deeper and saw a room completely filled with dead bodies. He almost lost his cool and vomit. "Should I go deeper?" he asked Kyuubi. "You need to find a way in," Kyuubi told him as he grimaced and started to go deeper. The room seemed to get more worse as he got deeper. The rooms were beginning to fill with skeletons. "Not even demons are this bad," Kyuubi told him as he got to a room that was glowing a strange blue and he looked in to see humans in cylindrical glass tubes. The cylinders were glowing a bright blue. "This is odd," Naruto thought, and Kyuubi couldn't agree more as he started to go down a few more levels and found a broken window and a flooded lab. "Should I go in? There might be a clue to what they are doing here," she told him as he swam in and saw a dull blue light illuminating the room. Naruto could see something floating in the corner, and he started to swim towards it, and found that it was a decaying creature. "It looks like Sasuke when he went stage 2 Curse Seal," Naruto thought as he looked around and saw several computers. "Maybe those have something about this thing," Naruto thought as he swam towards it and tried to look for some kind of information device. "Naruto, your oxygen supply is running out, you should hurry up and get out before we drown," she warned him. Naruto nodded as he made his way towards the creature and grabbed it in one hand and started to go towards the broken window, and was soon swimming towards the cave. He noticed that the fish and other aquatic creatures were keeping a long distance from him. "Are they scared of this creature?" Naruto thought as he kicked harder. Naruto broke the surface near the cliff wall and he looked around, looking for any signs of human life before swimming towards the cave, and pulled himself into it before dragging the creature's body into the cave. He heard the gasps from his team. "This is what I found at the lowest level," Naruto told them. "What is it?" Jiraiya asked. It took his entirety of his training to keep from losing his lunch. The others weren't as lucky. "Like I know," Naruto said before holding his hand up and leaned out of the cave and released his lunch into the ocean. I am going to try and sleep, Naruto told them as he wiped his mouth. Kid, I will protect you of your nightmares, Kyuubi told him as he crawled into one of the cubbies and curled up into a ball. Several hours later, Naruto groaned as he woke up. He could hear the others talking. If this is what they are making, then we have to destroy this building, he heard Kurenai say as he crawled back out. He walked into the main cavern to see them seated around the fire. Hey everyone, Naruto said as he sat at the fire. How did you sleep? Kurenai asked. Kyuubi kept most of the images out of my dreams, Naruto told them. So what will we do with that building? Naruto asked. We are going to destroy it, Kakashi told him. But none of us know a powerful enough jutsu besides Jiraiya-sama's Toad Flame Bullet, but that is too identifiable, he added as Naruto nodded. Maybe we should infiltrate the building to see if we can make it explode or something, Naruto suggested. Isn't the water toxic or something? Kurenai asked. I don't think it is, Naruto told them. When I was swimming back, I noticed that none of the fish weren't even getting close to me. I think they are afraid of the building, or what is in the building, Naruto added. Okay, so now what will we do? Kurenai asked. I think that since Jiraiya, Gaara and I have the biggest chakra pools, we will go through the bottom floor, while you three go through the main gate. We should wait for a new ship to come in, Naruto told them. You guys sneak in with the people that come on those ships, Naruto added. 3 ninja are kinda noticeable, Naruto, Kakashi said. Well, Kurenai-sensei is the genjutsu mistress of Konoha, and I am sure she knows a few invisibility jutsus, Naruto said with a smirk. And not to mention Ero-san in here has bragged multiple times about how he made the perfect invisibility jutsu that not even a shinobi can detect him, Naruto added as Rin and Kurenai glared at Jiraiya. Although I do have a feeling that he was caught once. Like a distant memory, he added as Jiraiya started to sweat as the memories started to flood his mind. 2 weeks later, Jiraiya had been teaching Naruto and Gaara his invisibility jutsu while Kurenai taught Kakashi and Shikamaru a more advanced invisibility jutsu. Naruto looked out the cave entrance to see the ship coming in. Practice is over, guys, our chance is here, Naruto said. Gaara, I know your sand gets heavy when wet, but will you be able to carry any down in the water with you? He asked. Shikaku should be able to handle that while I concentrate on the jutsu, Gaara told him. Well, let's get moving, Naruto said as the 3 dived into the water and started to swim over to the building. They surfaced at the building's wall. It is straight down from here, Naruto whispered as they nodded and took a deep breath before diving down. It wasn't long before they made it to the broken window and they swam in. Naruto went to the ceiling and a lot of bubbles started to appear around his hand before he rammed it into the ceiling and started to cut through it. The chunk of ceiling fell to the floor and Naruto slipped through and used his wind element to keep the water from flooding the room. It wasn't long before Gaara and Jiraiya to get through the hole. How will we close this up? Naruto asked as sand covered the hole and Jiraiya blew a small fireball onto the sand, melting it together and to the floor. Well, that solves that, Naruto said as he stood up. Let's activate the jutsu before we are found, Naruto told them as they made a hand sign and they soon vanished. They made their way around the room and saw 3 different doors. These are elevators, Jiraiya whispered. We should split up and so we can cover more ground, he added quietly as they each pushed a button and stepped into the elevator. With Naruto was waiting patiently as he went up. The doors soon opened and Naruto snuck out of the elevator and saw that he was in some kind of holding area. He went further in and saw an old short man with a tall blonde woman. Anokijiji, what are you doing here? Naruto whispered, surprising the 2. Who is there? The old man demanded. It is me, Naruto, Naruto whispered as the old man sighed. Now what are you doing here? That bastard knocked me out when I was going home and then forged a letter that said that I made him my successor and then he locked me up here, Anoki told Naruto. Who is that? Naruto asked. That is Yujito Ni, she is one of Kumo's Jinchuriki, they are using her to control the Reikage, Anoki told him. They gave her some kind of drug and she isn't too effective, he added as Naruto peeled the seal off the door and opened it. He walked over to the dazed Yujito and pressed his hand to her forehead, and she soon started to convulse before she opened her eyes. What the hell happened? Yujito groaned. The Yondaime Tsuchikage kidnapped you, Naruto said. I can smell a fox but I can't see one, Yujito stated as Naruto released the jutsu and startled his fellow Jinchuriki. Naruto Uzumaki, Kyuubi no Kitsun's Jinchuriki, Naruto told her with a smile as she stared at him. You should get out of here, Naruto told them. We are blowing this place up. They are making some weird-ass creatures. Naruto added as they nodded. But my people knew that you were here yet did nothing. Naruto interrupted him. I am going to take the elevator up a few floors and meet up with my teammates. Naruto told them. It is Jiraiya the Sand Nin and Gaara of the Sand. Naruto told them. What kind of team is that? 2 Jinchuriki and a Sannin? Is it a demolition group? Inoki asked. You bet it is, Naruto said as they went into the elevator. They were soon zooming up the elevator. They made it to the highest level they could and they were met by blood-covered Gaara and Jiraiya. I found us some help, Naruto said with a smirk. Tsuchikage-sama, Jiraiya said with a bow. This just made our job easier. Yeah, but these little kids might be strong but inexperienced, Inoki commented. They might be inexperienced but they are strong, Jiraiya said. You should know Naruto is strong since he is part of the Namikaze and Uzumaki bloodline. He added as Inoki nodded as the alarm started to blare followed by an explosion. Looks like it begins, Inoki-sama, Jiraiya said as a group of sound shinobi ran towards them. They were quickly dispatched by the overpowered group. They all broke into a run as they went. Save the eyes, one of the enemies yelled. They rounded the corner and found the yondaime Tsuchikage. You, Inoki growled. Inoki Jijigo, he is mine, Naruto told him as he drew his katana at the same time as the Tsuchikage. They suddenly flew at each other and came to a stop when their blades hit. Sparks flew everywhere. I am amazed that blade withstood my first strike, Naruto said as the two parried each other's attacks. I am surprised yours hasn't been sliced to pieces yet, he told Naruto as they continued. My katana is an Uzumaki blade, Naruto said as he parried another hit. And I believe I know why our blades aren't broken yet, Naruto said as he dropped his guard and Kenji took advantage and went to slice him but nothing happened. That is an Uzumaki blade too and it can't cut an Uzumaki, he said with a smirk. You cannot kill me with that katana, Naruto said as he started to go on the offensive, pushing the Tsuchikage back with his swift and dangerous attacks. Long gashes were being formed in the walls as they moved around. My katana might not be able to cut you but when I push my wind chakra into it. He trailed off as Naruto barely dodged a slash that would have sliced his chest open. Naruto felt his shirt slice open and a thin trickle of blood. That was a good attack, Naruto said as he channeled his chakra into katana and the two were at it again. With Jiraiya, Gaara, Inoki, and Yujito, they were running along when they heard a loud chirping noise and saw a ball of electricity stuck through a man's chest. The other group ran around the corner and saw Jiraiya's group. Jiraiya-sama, Kakashi said with a bow. Where is Naruto? Fighting the Tsuchikage, Jiraiya said followed by an explosion. With Naruto and Kenji, the two had somehow made it to the top floor. They had left a pile of bodies in their wake. You are quite good with that sword, Kenji said while panting slightly. Same with you, Naruto panted out before they launched at each other, and Naruto kicked Kenji through the ceiling and onto the roof. Naruto leapt through the hole and promptly blocked a hit. He pushed Kenji back before leaping back himself, and he took his tattered cloak off and threw it away from him, and it collided with the roof and the building shook a little. Ah, that is better, Naruto said as the two launched at each other again and collided. Naruto! They heard a female's voice exclaim before the two pushed apart. Jiraiya-sensei. Tell Hinata that I love her, Naruto said. Naruto, what are you going to do? Jiraiya demanded as they watched Naruto tug the Shodai Hokage's necklace off and threw it towards him. I am going to use the True Wind Dragon Jutsu, Naruto told him. Naruto. Tell everyone that I love them, Naruto said as he threw his katana towards the group and it stuck into the ground. Naruto, don't! Jiraiya yelled as they watched in horror as Kenji and Naruto flew towards each other. They watched as the katana pierced his chest and coughed up some blood before he grabbed Kenji. Get out of here! Naruto exclaimed through the pain before he started to chant, and a wind started to kick up. Clouds started to roll in and started to swirl above Naruto and Kenji. We have to help him, Kurenai exclaimed as she watched as Kenji attempted to get away. We can't, Jiraiya said as a cylinder of wind slammed down around Naruto and Kenji. It is too late, he added. We have to leave, Jiraiya said as he pulled Kurenai away and they started to leap away. Once they were several hundred yards away, they heard a roar that reverberated the air around them. What is this jutsu? Kurenai demanded. It is a suicide jutsu when used at full power, Jiraiya told her. It takes a tremendous amount of chakra, and when that cylinder comes down, it traps the user and anyone with the person in it. Nothing can get through that shield. Jiraiya explained as they started to hear the chanting increase in volume, and soon a muzzle of a dragon and the claws burst through the clouds and it roared again. It is the ultimate wind ninjutsu, Jiraiya added. It condenses the wind chakra to the point that it is solid until it hits its target. It can be directed? Kurenai asked hopefully as Jiraiya laughed bitterly. Not a chance in hell, the target is the user, Jiraiya told her as tears started to fall down his cheeks. Summon a toad or something to help him, Kurenai pleaded as another roar was sound as the dragon looked around and locked its eyes on Naruto's position. Didn't you hear me? Nothing can get through that shield, Jiraiya told her. Don't you think I would attempt to save my own godson if I could? He demanded as the tears continued to slide down his cheeks. They watched in fascination and horror as a Chinese dragon started to spiral around the cylinder of air and slam into the building, encasing it in a dome of wind. There is less than 0.1% chance that Naruto would live through this, and he is the most powerful Jinchuriki, Jiraiya told them as the dome of wind started to rip through the building. Tell everyone not to be sad. A whisper was heard on the wind as Kurenai dropped to her knees and started to cry harder. Jiraiya was stone-faced as he watched the jutsu slowly start to recede. We will search whatever is left for Naruto, Jiraiya said as the dome condensed and exploded in a fierce wind that blew the younger shinobi over. They looked at the perfectly curved indent in the cliff as the wind died down. We should go now, Jiraiya said as they started to run across the water towards the wreckage. They made it to ground zero of the jutsu, and were amazed at the nothingness of it. All that was left were a few particles of dust. It is obvious that Naruto isn't here, Jiraiya said as he looked down into the water to see the lower levels were destroyed too. He clutched the necklace and katana tighter to him. B but W what A about H his D dreams? Kurenai asked. When we get back I will tell Tsunade what happened, Jiraiya ordered. She will want to hear it from a close friend, he added firmly. They were in shock that Naruto had died and could only nod. Shikamaru had tears in his eyes as he stared into the sky. Naruto, you troublesome man, the girls are going to kill me, he said sadly to himself. We should get going, there is no use searching now, Jiraiya told them sadly. Gaara, go get Matsuri and bring her, Jiraiya ordered. Kurenai, you have till Gaara gets back to see if Naruto has survived, Jiraiya told her as she nodded quickly and she went to search with Kakashi, Rin and Shikamaru. You aren't going to help? Inoki asked. No, I know this jutsu, Jiraiya told him. It is certain death if someone uses it, he added. I must be cursed myself. All my apprentices died before me, Jiraiya said with a dry chuckle as he looked down to see a headband floating on the surface. He reached down and picked it up and wiped the dust off the symbol and saw that it was Naruto's. Several days later, the group entered through the front gate of Konoha with a sad aura around them. They quickly went to the Hokage Tower. Jiraiya knocked on Tsunade's door and waited for her affirmation for them to enter, and they piled into the room. She smiled when she saw them, but it almost instantly went away. Where is Naruto? She demanded. Jiraiya's cheeks twitched a little as he reached into his vest and pulled the necklace out. I am sorry, Tsunade, Jiraiya said as he placed it in front of her. Naruto used a suicide jutsu to take out the Tsuchikage and the building they were on top of, Jiraiya told her as tears started to fall down her cheeks. Jiraiya placed a comforting hand on Tsunade's shoulder as she cried. Why does Kami have to take all the ones I love away from me? She asked Jiraiya. I don't know, Tsunade, Jiraiya told her sadly. Naruto has a message for me to give to Hinata, Jiraiya told Tsunade as she nodded. Fill her in on what happened, Jiraiya ordered the rest of the group before he started to jump away towards the Hyuga compound. It didn't take him long to get to the compound since he wasn't being distracted by any kind of female anatomy. He knocked on the door and a Hyuga answered the door. Can I speak with Hayashi Hyuga and Hinata Hyuga? Jiraiya asked. One moment please, the Hyuga told Jiraiya before disappearing into the house. Jiraiya didn't have to wait long before the Hyuga came back and let him in. He quickly led Jiraiya into the house and towards what looked like an office to Jiraiya. He walked into the office to see Hayashi sitting in front of a desk with Hinata standing behind him and to the side a little. Hello, Jiraiya-sama, Hayashi said before bowing his head. Hello, Hayashi-sama, Hinata-sama, Jiraiya said seriously, instantly gaining Hayashi's attention. Last that I heard you were out of the village, Hayashi said as Jiraiya nodded. I was, but it was on a mission, Jiraiya told him. It consisted of myself, Naruto Uzumaki, Shikamaru Nara, Kurenai Yuhi, Gaara Shubaku, Kakashi Hatake and later Rin Norito. He told them. Naruto had a bad feeling about IWA, and we went to investigate it. We found a building that were creating Sharingan-equipped monsters. Jiraiya said as his cheeks started to twitch again while his eyes became blurry. We waited a while before we infiltrated the building and we ended up finding the unnamed Sasuke. Jiraiya told them. Naruto stayed and fought him while he had Gaara and myself went on ahead. We met up with the other group and followed the path of destruction left from the two to the roof of the building. Jiraiya paused as he took a deep breath to calm himself. When we found him on the roof he was in a deadlock with the Tsuchikage. Naruto was able to push the Tsuchikage away and leapt back a little and pulled the Shodai's necklace off and tossed it to me and told me to tell Hinata that he will always love her. He then threw his katana towards us and it stuck into the ground. The two launched at each other and Naruto was stabbed through the chest. Jiraiya said as Hinata looked ready to cry. I would have helped him if he hadn't have used the true wind dragon jutsu. Jiraiya added as he reached into his vest again and pulled out the headband. I am sure Naruto would want you to have this, Hinata. Jiraiya said as he handed it out to her. I am sorry, Hinata. Jiraiya said as Hinata's arms went limp to her sides before her legs gave out, and she fell to her knees and the tears started to pour down her cheeks. Jiraiya-sama, please stop. Hayashi said. That is all I had to say. Jiraiya told them as he bowed to Hayashi before leaving. He saw Hanabi walking down the hall. You are Hanabi Hyaga, right? He asked as she nodded. Your sister needs you right now. She just got some horrible news. He added. What is it? Hanabi asked. Ask your father or Hinata. Jiraiya said before he continued to leave. He heard Hanabi quickly go into the room. Jiraiya had tears in his eyes before he slammed his fist into the wall next to him, making it explode. He heard a scream and looked to see that he had punched the wall to the women's bath. I am sorry, Jiraiya said before continuing on his way. He stopped at the guard and gave him a sheet of paper with his bank account number. I kinda broke one of you walls. Take whatever the costs are out of that account, Jiraiya said as he walked out of the gate and into the street. Jiraiya looked up at the sky. Naruto, I hope you are happy with your mother, Jiraiya said sadly. What is that supposed to mean? A feminine voice demanded. Jiraiya turned to see a pink-haired girl. You were Naruto's teammate, right? Jiraiya asked as she nodded. You should know by the end of the day, if not by tomorrow, Jiraiya told her before he continued to walk. He could see Umbu running around and stopped to talk with people. So she is doing it now? Jiraiya thought as he saw the groups of people walking towards the Hokage Tower. An hour later at Hokage Tower, everyone was whispering to each other about what the meaning of this village-wide meeting was about. They were silenced when Tsunade walked out in her complete Hokage getup. Tsunade took a deep breath as she tried to compose herself. People of... She trailed off as she cleared her throat. People of Konoha, I have called you together for a sad reason, Tsunade yelled. One of our strongest shinobi was killed recently on a mission. He died in order to protect his teammates. Sakura's mind was abuzz. Wait a minute. Naruto went on a mission with Kurenai-sensei, Kakashi, Shika, and Gaara. They came back, but he did. Oh no, please no, she thought. I am sad to tell you that Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze was killed on his latest mission to IWA. Tsunade said softly, but her voice carried through the crowd. That is a lie. Several people yelled. I wish it was, Tsunade told them. He used a ninjutsu called the True Wind Dragon Jutsu. It is the most powerful wind-natured jutsu in existence. But it comes at the price of almost certain death of the user. I was told this by Jiraiya of the Sannin, she added as she saw the sadness wash over most people. Her lips started to twitch from her restrained sobs. He used that jutsu on the unnamed Tsuchikage who was supporting Orochimaru's experiments of monsters with Sharingan eyes, she said. It took out both of them along with the building they were on. She continued, nearly breaking down again. You may go on with your business again, she added before walking back into her office, leaving the stunned crowd. The instantly she was out of sight, her composure completely crumbed and she fell to her knees and broke down into sobs as she clutched the necklace to her chest. She felt two arms wrap around her and lift her up. Tsunade, you shouldn't be caught like that, she heard Jiraiya tell her before he set her in her chair. She clung to Jiraiya as she cried. Jiraiya attempted to soothe her as she cried. Why did he do that? She begged him. I have no idea, Jiraiya told her as he rubbed her back soothingly. Chapter 33. It has a month since everyone learned of Naruto's death and people were finally getting back to their normal life. There were a few exceptions, though mainly his close friends and loved ones. Hinata was the worst out of them all. She hadn't left her room much in the past month and didn't eat much. A close second was Tsunade, who had started to drink even more to drown her sadness away. Iruka had buried himself in his work to help him cope. Kakashi would stand in front of the memorial stone and stared at the names of his close friends and family, but his eyes would travel to a certain name on the stone. It became a tradition that every one of Naruto's friends and family, except for Hinata, would go to Ichiraku Ramen and eat there and talk about Naruto's past pranks and other things. It was a bright day when Hinata finally walked out of her room and saw the sun. Naruto-kun, why did you have to do that? She thought as she walked almost mindlessly through Konoha. Everywhere she went she could see a memory that she had with Naruto. She was confused when she saw the long line at Ichiraku Ramen stand. She looked in to see her friends talking about Naruto. She smiled sadly as she pushed into the stand. Hey guys. Hinata said quietly as they all turned to her and looked at her. Hinata! They exclaimed before they enveloped her in a hug. How are you doing? Sakura asked. Better. Hinata admitted before placing a hand on her stomach. I guess I will always have a remembrance of Naruto. Actually, we all will soon. She admitted with a sad smile as they looked confused. I would say about 6 months from now. She added as Sakura's eyes widened. You don't mean? Sakura trailed off as Hinata nodded. Huh, what are you talking about? Kiba asked, confused, making Hinata sigh. You are an idiot, Kiba, Shikamaru said. When will you find out the sex? He asked, trying to give Kiba a hint. Find out what sex? Kiba asked, still confused, getting on everyone's nerve. She is pregnant, you idiot, Ino told him fiercely as realization dawned on him. You mean you and Naruto had? He trailed off as Hinata nodded. Can I touch your stomach? Sakura asked as Hinata nodded and she placed her hand on her small stomach. Sakura could feel the lump on her stomach. It must have been your bulky clothes that hid it, Sakura said with a smile. I am actually a little nervous, Hinata admitted. Why? Sakura, Ino and Tenten asked. Well, I haven't told Tsunade-sama and well you know, Hinata said as their eyes widened. Tell me what? A feminine voice said behind Hinata as she stiffened. It is good to finally see you are out again, the voice said again as Hinata slowly turned to see Tsunade. Hello Tsunade-sama. Hinata stuttered, scared. So what is this that you haven't told me? Tsunade asked. I am. She trailed off before she ran outside and emptied her stomach into a trash can. She grimaced as she wiped her mouth and walked back into the stand. What is wrong? Tsunade asked, and before Hinata could protest, Tsunade was doing a diagnostic check on Hinata. Tsunade blinked a few times as she ran her hands over Hinata's stomach again. Hinata, are you? She trailed off as Hinata nodded nervously. And Naruto is the... Once again Hinata nodded as Tsunade sighed. Well, I cannot say I am completely surprised, Tsunade said. So who else knows? She asked as Hinata pointed behind her and saw that all the guys were gone and only the girls were left. Those scared. Ino trailed off and grumbles. F Father A N H Hanabi-chan K no T to A a long W with Rin. Hinata stuttered nervously. You don't have to be worried, Tsunade said. I am not mad at you. Maybe a bit disappointed for being so reckless, but I am happy, she told Hinata as tears started to come to Hinata's eyes before she hugged the older woman tightly. Tsunade rubbed her back and in the corner of her eye she saw the men looking in. Hinata! A feminine voice exclaimed as Hinata turned her head to see Kurenai and Asuma. What is wrong, dear? Kurenai asked as Hinata's throat clenched up, preventing her from talking. Do you want me to tell her? Tsunade asked as Hinata nodded. I believe there is a congratulations for Hinata, Tsunade said as Kurenai became confused. By Law 44b she is prevented from going on missions, Tsunade said as Kurenai became confused and started to go through the laws in her head and her eyes widened. Hinata, you're... Hinata nodded. But how? When? Kurenai trailed off in amazement. I think you know how and I know when, Tsunade said as Kurenai looked up at the tall blonde. Remember that little lie Naruto told us about the Rasengan? She asked as Kurenai nodded and Hinata flushed brightly. Well, I would say either he wasn't telling a lie or it was shortly after we left, she added. Hinata. Kurenai trailed off as Hinata became nervous. Would you mind if they call me Kurenai-bachan? She finished as Hinata looked shell-shocked. I really want to be a part of your life more, and this way I can be, she added a bit hopefully as more tears started to form in Hinata's eyes. Kurenai looked shocked. Don't worry, it is just the hormones, Tsunade said dismissively. Several months later, Hinata was walking down the street. Her stomach was protruding out, and it was obvious that she was pregnant. People were slightly shocked when they first saw her stomach, but they quickly got over their shock. Random people would stop her, and ask when she was due and if they could touch her stomach and if she knew the sex yet. Hinata would always reply kindly with a smile that it was in 3 more months, and that they could touch her stomach and that she didn't know the sex yet. She was actually currently going to the hospital for her checkup with Rin. She walked into the hospital, and she was quickly sent to a room and waited patiently for Rin to show up. I will always have a part of Naruto with me, Hinata thought as she rubbed her stomach when she heard the door open and she saw Rin. Hello, Hinata-chan, Rin said as she looked at Hinata. How is it going? You know about the same, Hinata said. Been craving ramen a lot, she added with a giggle. I am not surprised, Kushina-chan was the same way when she was pregnant with Naruto. But she was already a ramen lover before that, so. Rin trailed off as Hinata giggled some more. So we are going to find out the sex today, Rin said as she ran a glowing hand over Hinata's stomach and her eyebrows knitted together in confusion. Hinata, can you give me a minute? Rin asked as Hinata nervously nodded and Rin quickly left. What is wrong? Please don't have anything wrong with my baby, she thought as Rin came back dragging both Shizen and Tsunade. The two quickly made the hand signs and their hands started to glow green and they ran their hands over her stomach and Tsunade smirked. So Hinata, which do you want more, a boy or girl? Tsunade asked. I don't care as long as it is healthy, Hinata said. Oh, they are perfectly healthy, Tsunade said as Hinata sighed in relief before her eyes widened. They? Hinata asked, stunned. Apparently you are having twins, Tsunade said. One of them was hiding during the checks, she added. And the sex in male and female, Tsunade said as Hinata's mouth almost fell to the ground in her shock. T-twins? Hinata stuttered while she placed a hand on her stomach. Later that day, Hinata walked to the ramen stand still in a daze and noticed the line, but she didn't have to wait and walked into the stand and saw the IM and Choji making ramen. Hey guys, Hinata said as she sat at her reserved seat. Oh, Hinata-chan, IM said as she turned to the girl. So is she healthy? IM asked. You are determined it is a girl, Hinata said. Of course you can call it women's intuition. So am I right? She asked. Well, half right, Hinata said as it became silent in the stand and everyone turned to her. A girl and a boy, Hinata said as IM squealed rather loudly. Twins! IM exclaimed excitedly as Hinata nodded. Hinata was soon bombarded by congratulations from everyone. All the ramen for you is on the house, Tochi told her with a smile. So what do you want? Tochi asked and soon regretted it. Chocolate ramen noodles and beef broth with miso, Hinata said as everyone looked at her weirdly and Tochi shivered. It is like feeding Kushina again, he mumbled to himself. Several hours later, Hinata walked into the Hyaga compound and went to Hayashi's office. He looked up at her. So is it healthy? Hayashi asked. Yes, they are perfectly healthy, Hinata said and waited patiently for the realization to dawn on him. Oh, that is good that they are. Hayashi trailed off as his eyes grew wide. They, he yelled as Hinata nodded. A boy and a girl, Hinata said with a smile as she watched her father faint for the first time. Why did father yell? Hanabi asked as she stuck her head into the room. Oh, I just told him I am having twins, Hinata said nonchalantly as Hanabi blinked a few times before her mouth fell open in shock as she passed out too. Hinata was smiling to herself as she attempted to stand. I needed to think that through better, Hinata thought with a grimace. Neji! She yelled and soon her cousin came running in. I can't get up, she admitted with a blush as Neji sighed and helped her up. You shouldn't do that to me, Neji said. I thought you were in serious trouble. Why are they unconscious? Neji asked as he saw his uncle and younger cousin. Oh, I just told them that the babies were perfectly fine, Hinata said with a smile. Babies? Neji asked before he fell onto the floor unconscious, and Hinata smiled to herself as she passed Neji's room and saw Tenten. You should go help Neji, he is unconscious in father's office, Hinata called into the room as Tenten pulled a classic Hinata by eeping and blushing bright red. What did you do? Tenten asked. I just told him I was having twins, Hinata said as Tenten squealed and completely forgot her embarrassment, and Neji as she hugged her best friend. Hinata smiled as she hugged her friend back. That is amazing. Wait till Sakura and Ino hear about this, Tenten said. They will freak. She continued as she dragged Hinata out of the house. Hinata was barely able to tell the guards to help her father, sister, and cousin. They soon came to the flower shop and Hinata was panting. Ino! Tenten called as she walked in. What, Tenten? I am right here. Ino said, a bit irritated. Guess what Hinata told me? Tenten said excitedly. That she is having twins? Ino asked as Tenten became shocked. Yeah, it is already around most of the village. Everyone is talking about it. She added. Ino! Sakura yelled as she ran and passed Hinata and Tenten. Did you hear that Hinata is having twins? Sakura asked while panting. Ino just pointed past Sakura towards Hinata and she waved to Sakura. 3 months later, Hinata was slowly making her way around the village. Since she was over a week late for her labor, Tsunade had at least one Umbu or Jounin watching over her at all times. As she was walking, Hinata felt a massive wave of pain hit her, and she groaned in pain and nearly fell to her knees. She was lifted up, the Umbu escorting her. What is wrong, Hinata-sama? The Umbu asked worriedly. I think they are coming, Hinata said with another groan of pain. Help me get to the hospital, Tora. Hinata begged as her Umbu nodded and lifted Hinata up carefully, and started to move towards hospital in a hurried speed. Several hours later, Hinata screamed as Tenten wiped the sweat from Hinata's brow. Neji was shivering in the corner from the scary sight. Neji, give me your damn hand. Hinata ordered angrily as Neji shivered even more as he cradled his broken hand from the last time he held her hand. Neji! Tenten exclaimed as Neji quickly stood and slowly gave Hinata his hand, but Hinata was quicker than he thought as she snatched his hand as another wave of pain went through her, and she crushed Neji's hand with a loud crack. My hand! Neji yelled in pain. Ah, Naruto, if you were still alive I would kill you myself. Hinata screamed in pain. Hinata released Neji's hand and he instantly retreated to the waiting room while cradling his hands. His friends looked at the scared and shaking Neji with slight amusement and amazement. What happened, Neji? Choji asked. Hinata crushed my hands, Neji said as Tsunade walked towards them and saw Neji's black and blue hands. Tsunade sighed and quickly set Neji's bones and healed them. A scream of pain was heard and Neji dropped to the fetal position and started to shake. So which one of you is going in next? Tsunade asked as Shikamaru faked a cough. I think I am not feeling too well. Shika lied as Temari smacked him upside his head. Shika-kun will go. Temari volunteered Shikamaru as she pushed Shikamaru into the room. Soon a terrified and pained scream was heard. How strong is Hinata? Temari asked. Let's just say she could probably pick up an Akamichi before she became pregnant. Kiba told her. Hanane-chan told me that women normally get a bit stronger while giving birth or something like that. Kiba said as a shaking Shikamaru came out while muttering something about troublesome birthing. Shino, it is your turn. Kiba said. Sorry, Kiba, but because of the tunnels burrowed throughout my body I cannot afford them to be collapsed. Shino said in a serious tone. Cho. Kiba began but saw that Choji was gone. Went to get food. Temari told him. Lee. He looked around but didn't see him. Oh, so you think you won't cry out, Lee? They heard Hinata yelled, followed by a loud yelp, and Lee was thrown out of the room and slammed into the wall with a loud thud. I don't want to go in there. Kiba pleaded as Temari sighed and stood and walked into the room. Kiba, get you ass in here this instant. Hinata yelled as he jumped, and Temari came out with a satisfied smile. He went to run out but Temari grabbed him and pushed him backwards into the room. Give me your hand. No, please, I need them for my jutsu. They heard Kiba plead. Then give me your foot. Hinata yelled as they heard a thud followed by a loud scream of pain from both Hinata and Kiba. Soon Kiba was wheeled out of the room and into an exam room next to Hinata's. Choji, your turn. Temari said as Choji just shrugged and walked into the room, and they heard a scream of pain from Hinata but nothing from Choji. The entire room went silent when they heard a small crying sound come from the room. Followed by another grunt of pain and another crying sound came. Soon Choji came back out while eating some chips and everyone stared at him in amazement. How did you not get hurt? Shikamaru asked. Oh, I used my expansion jutsu on my hands so she could hold onto my fingers instead, Choji said nonchalantly. Anyways, you can go see her, Choji said as he was pushed out of the way by Neji, Temari, Ino and Sakura. They all piled into the room to see Hinata holding 2 bundles in her arms. Tenten smiled and pulled the blankets away from the babies' heads and showed that the boy had the same bright blue eyes and blonde hair as Naruto, while the girl had bright red hair and violet eyes. They both had their father's whisker marks. They were cooing up at the new visitors. What are their names? Ino asked as she tickled the boy's chin. He is going to be Minato Hyuga Namikaze and she is going to be Kushina Hyuga Namikaze, Hinata said. After Naruto-kun's parents. Hinata added before she yawned. Her eyes slowly drifted shut as she succumbed to her tiredness. Shikamaru took a camera out and took a picture of Hinata as the babies looked at it in amazement, while Hinata slept. You are going to be a hellion just like your father, aren't you? Iruka asked as the two babies smiled up at him like a fox as he shivered. I think they will be worse, he mumbled as the others chuckled. Several days later, Hinata was being released from the hospital and almost all of her friends and family were there to help her. It didn't help that basically every villager was waiting outside the hospital waiting to see the two new babies. Iruka had Minato in his arms while Hinata held Kushina. They walked out and the girls instantly cooed at the sight of the babies. Iam was the first one to see the newborns out of all the villagers. Oh, he looks just like his father. Iam cooed as she tickled his chin, making his face crinkle up before he grabbed her finger. Iruka-sensei thinks they will be a hellion just like Naruto-kun was, Hinata said a bit tiredly. I have no doubt in that, Iam said as she saw the fox-like grins the two babies sported. Hinata spent the next few hours making it through the crowd and was finally on her way to the Hyuga clan. A few passing shinobi would jump down and either congratulate her or coo at the cuteness of the babies. At least they will have a family, Hinata thought sadly as she hugged Kushina tighter to her chest and Kushina looked up at her curiously before she reached her hand up and touched her cheek. Hinata looked down and smiled at the baby. You are such a good girl, Hinata cooed, making Kushina smile toothlessly up at her. You are a natural mother, Iruka commented. Not really, Hinata told him. I took care of Hanabi-chan since she was born. I guess you could say I have been acting like a mother since I was 5, Hinata added sadly. Even if your mother survived, you would have been just as motherly, Iruka told her with a warm smile which made Hinata smile. Thanks for your abundance of confidence in me, Hinata told him as they came to the big steel gate of the Hyuga compound. Do you want me to escort you in? Iruka asked as Hinata shook her head. No, I can take it from here, Hinata said as Iruka handed Minato over to Hinata. She moved naturally, so she was holding the two babies easily. Thank you for the help, Iruka-sensei, Hinata told him with a smile as Iruka opened the gate for her. It was my pleasure, Hinata-sama, Iruka said with a smile. Hinata-sama, you are finally out? A branch member asked. Yes, I am watch-on, Hinata said with a smile. I would have been back sooner, but apparently these two are celebrities, Hinata added before she left the woman. As she was walking past her father's study. We have to seal the younger twin, Hinata heard one of the elders say as Hinata scowled darkly. I will not allow the seal to be placed on my grandchildren, Hayashi said darkly as Hinata glared at the wall before she walked towards Neji's room. She kicked the door and heard an eep and a lot of scrambling before the door opened and a partially naked Neji stood in front of her. He cleared his throat. Hinata-sama, what can I do for you? Neji asked. Can you and Tenten-chan take these two for a few minutes? Hinata asked with a smile. I have something to take care of, she added, but Neji heard the edge on her voice and pitied the people who pissed Hinata off. Of course, Neji said as he took Kushina into his arms and let out a whimper when she grabbed his long hair and gave a mighty tug. Tenten came to the door with more clothes, but Hinata couldn't help but chuckle when she saw one of her buns was loose and hung down her back. Tenten immediately took Minato into her arms and started to coo. Hinata bowed to her cousin before walking away. Those elders are going to be hurting, Tenten said as she tickled Minato. What do you mean? Neji asked, confused. What happens when twins are born in this clan? She asked him as his eyes widened. Knowing Hinata, she will not allow that to happen, even if that means excommunicating herself from this clan, she added. With Hinata, Hinata was standing in front of her father's study. You cannot defy the entire Hyuga clan council, Hayashi-sama, she heard an elder say before her temper boiled over and she kicked the door as hard as she could, making it fly backwards. She strode into the study. What are you doing here? A male elder demanded. Shut up, Hinata ground out. Why you ahhh? He screamed as Hinata's wings pierced each of his shoulders and pinned him to the wall. If you even think of sealing my children, and I will kill you without a second thought, Hinata threatened darkly, making a few of them shiver. And if you try it, not only will I leave this clan, I will make it my life's work to make sure that everyone knows of the evils that you have done. She threatened again as their eyes widened considerable. She retracted her wings from the elder, allowing him to fall to the ground. Plus, I doubt the villagers would like it if I said you want to harm them, she added before turning on her heels. Well, you heard my daughter. Hayashi said as he leaned forward and propped his head up with his arms. Are you willing to have possibly the most powerful Hyaga ever for something so simple? Hayashi asked as they grumbled. Hayashi smiled and sighed as he saw them drag the wounded elder away. You are just as fierce and scary as your mother, Hayashi thought. Large waves were hitting the concave cliff face as something started to rise from the ocean's depths. A large dome of black chakra rose through the water and into the air. Inside the dome, the figure of a person could be seen. The persons had missing limbs that were quickly regenerating. Suddenly, the chakra dome blew up, sending a chakra ring in all directions. Konoha, an indigo-haired girl, was looking tiredly at the two children in front of her. They have as much energy as their father, she thought to herself as she felt a person walk in. Hinata-chan, you look tired, why don't you rest while I watch the twins? A brunette girl with her hair in buns asked. I think I will accept that offer, Tenten, Hinata said in a tired voice. She walked over to Tenten and gave her a quick hug before starting towards the door. Oh yeah, I was going to bring them to Tsunade-sama to visit her around lunchtime. If you can do that for me, I will be grateful, she added with a yawn. No problem, Tenten said with a smile as she started to play with the two babies while Hinata left. I wish you were with me, Naruto-kun, Hinata thought as she flopped onto her bed and was instantly asleep and snoring lightly. Suddenly a chakra wave slammed into the village, shaking it and shattered the windows. Her eyes snapped open as recognition hit her before worry washed over her, and she ran out of her room and into the living room to see Tenten hovering over the twins with glass shards resting on her back. Hinata. What was that? Tenten asked as she sat up. Orochimaru's lab. A blonde teen fell to his knees on top of the water while gasping for air. What happened to me? He thought as he looked around. He saw the sleeve of his left arm and right pant leg were gone. Ugh, I lost a few limbs, he thought as he closed his eyes and concentrated as his surrounds slowed down before changing completely. He opened his eye and was confused to see the sewers instead of the forest. What the hell, he thought. Kyubi, are you here? He called as he walked around and saw the cage with Kyubi laying down behind the bars. Naruto-kun. I used too much chakra, Kyubi told him. My consciousness is slipping away. While my consciousness is not like this, my body will be evil. Since I am the closest one to the 10-tailed beast, my evil side takes over if I use too much chakra, she warned him. It will take several years to gain all the chakra I lost back, she added. Do not believe what the beast says, she added as her eyes started to droop. You will not have the same control over my chakra without me being the regulator. Yamikyubi's chakra is overwhelming and will take you over, she told him. Good luck, Naruto-kun, she told him as her eyes drifted shut before they snapped open and a bloodthirsty look came to them. Get over here so I can rip you to pieces, Yamikyubi yelled angrily at him before slamming into the cage door. Naruto leapt back in shock. Ya, not going to happen, Naruto told her. Well, bye, Naruto exclaimed as his consciousness went back to the real world and with painful realization that Kyubi hadn't healed him completely. He ripped his tattered shirt open to see a fist-sized hole in his chest that was slowly healing. Damn, why didn't I feel that before? He thought as he attempted to slow the flow of blood. In Konoha, Hinata and Tenten were standing in front of the Hokage Tsunade. What the hell happened? Tsunade demanded as she looked out her broken windows. How can every window in Konoha break almost simultaneously? She asked. Tsunade-sama, I know that chakra type rather well, Hinata said as she shifted her twins in her arms to a more comfortable position. Well, what is it? She exclaimed as the two babies were startled and started to cry before Hinata glared at her leader. I'm sorry, she mumbled, embarrassed as Hinata rocked the two. Anyways, that chakra is Kyubi's, Hinata said, shocking Tsunade. But that can't be, Tsunade said. Jiraiya said he was dead and he knows not to lie about something like this to me, she said. The concentration of chakra we felt was enormous. I would have to say that Kyubi-chan used most of her chakra to do something just now, Hinata said as hope shone in her eyes. So you think that Kyubi might have somehow kept Naruto alive? Tsunade asked. That or the seal failed and she was able to escape before Naruto-kun died and just reformed her body, Hinata said as Tsunade nodded. Okay, I will send a team to Orochimaru's lab in Konoha. Tsunade said. Hinata, get prepared, you will be on that team, she said. But what about the twins? Hinata asked. I am sure Shizen and I can take care of them, Tsunade said just as Shizen walked in. What did you volunteer for me to do? Again? Shizen asked as she dropped the pile of papers on her desk. Oh, and those are damage reports from throughout the village, she added before going towards Hinata and picked the little red-headed baby up and started to rock her to attempt to calm her down. Thanks, Hinata said quietly, not wanting to wake the blonde baby in her arms. I just volunteered us to watch these two for Hinata while she went on her mission, Tsunade said. Oh, if that is it, I am fine with it, Shizen said as the baby girl calmed down and snuggled into her embrace. Anyways, Hinata, you will go get your teammates. Hana Inuzuka will be the fourth team member since Kurenai is out of the village currently, Tsunade said as Hinata nodded and handed her little boy over to Tenten. Well, I will be back soon, Hinata said as she leapt onto the roof outside the window, and her wings shot out before she launched off the roof and into the air. With Naruto had made it up the cliff and onto the edge before he fell over unconscious. Blood was pooling around his body. With Hinata, teammate, Hana and her dogs were standing at the gate. What is our mission? Kiba asked, slightly annoyed. I thought that lab was destroyed, he added. It was, but that chakra pulse was Kyuubi's chakra, Hinata said before they started to leap away. So you think that Naruto is still alive? Shino asked as Hinata shrugged. It could be, she said, but she was hoping he was. You do realize that Naruto will just be killed when he gets home if he is alive, Hana said from her place in front of them. Hayashi-sama doesn't seem to be the type of person who takes it kindly when his daughter becomes pregnant out of wedlock, and at the age of 13. She explained. Several days later, they had just broke through the tree line. Okay, by this map Tsunade-sama gave me, we have to go that way, Hana said while pointing up the cliffside before they all started to leap away. Hinata hasn't been sleeping well. I hope Naruto-kun is alive. I don't think her heart can take too much more, she thought as they came to the massively concave cliff. I think we found it, Kiba said as he sniffed the air. Neichan, do you smell that? He asked. Yeah, blood. And a lot of it, Hana said as she looked around. Kiba, Akamaru, and Shino, you two search the water line while Hinata and I look up here. Yell if you find anything out of the ordinary. Affirmative, Shino said while Kiba nodded. You three spread out and look for anyone suspicious. She ordered her dogs and they nodded and all three vanished. Come on, Hinata, Hana ordered as the two started to walk away as the two boys leapt down to the waters. Hinata, I don't want you to get your hopes up with this. She trailed off as she saw Hinata stop dead in her tracks. She followed Hinata's line of sight and saw a blonde boy face down with a large pool of dried blood under him. Kiba, Akamaru, Shino, get over here, Hana yelled as she instantly started to run towards the boy and dropped next to him and gently flipped him over to see the whiskered face of the boy they were looking for. She brought her head to his chest and heard the faint sounds of a heartbeat. He is alive, she exclaimed and saw the hole in his chest that was closing. If he came back when that chakra blast hit us, he has lost too much blood for him to live more than 5 minutes. Yet here we are 6 days later, she thought as her hand started to glow green and placed it over his chest and attempted to heal the wound. Hana could hear soft sobs coming from behind her and saw Hinata with tears running down her cheeks but had a soft, genuine smile on her face. Neichan, what d? Kiba trailed off as he saw the blood-covered chest of Naruto. Holy shit, Kiba whispered. Several hours later, Hana had closed the wound as best she could with her limited medical ninjutsu. She looked to the sky to see that the sun was setting. Naruto is stable for now, we will sleep here tonight and set out early tomorrow morning, she ordered. Kiba, you and Akamaru will take the first watch, my dogs will take the second, and Shino and I will take the third, she said as she looked over to Hinata, who was asleep with Naruto's head in her lap. She had spent the time washing the blood off of his body. That boy is something else, she thought. Okay, Shino, Kiba, you two go get firewood. Akamaru, you and my dogs go hunt for food, and I will set up the tents, she said as they all nodded. The 4 dogs launched into the forest while the 2 boys walked into the woods. The next morning, Hana woke everyone up. Okay, we will have to make a makeshift stretcher for Naruto, Hana said. So we need 2 7-foot-long sticks roughly as thick as your fist, she said as they all scattered around except for Hinata. Naruto-kun, you should see our children. They are amazing, Hinata whispered as she moved a strand of hair out of his face as a pained expression came over his face. Hinata felt helpless as she looked at him. She heard some rustling and looked up to see a Suna team, Kumo team, and IWA team come out of the woods. Hinata instantly went on the defensive as she looked at them all. She saw the familiar faces of the Sand siblings and their sensei. Hinata-chan. You are already here? The blonde Suna female asked. What are you all doing here? Hinata asked with her guards still up. Our villages were hit by a chakra wave and Shikaku told me it was Kyuubi's chakra, so we came to investigate. Gaara told her. Nibi told me the same thing. A blonde Kuma woman said. I had to check out the chakra blast that came from within my territory. An old man said. So the small brat somehow survived? He asked as he looked at the form when Hana, Shino, Kiba and the 4 dogs came out of the forest, and the dogs instantly started to growl at the blonde Kuma woman who hissed almost silently at them. What is going on here? Hana demanded as she looked at them. They all felt the chakra blast too. Hinata said. Well, I know the Suna shinobi, but who are you 8? Hana asked while looking at the others. Brat, I am the sand-aimed Tsuchikage. The old man said as Hana's eyes widened and stood protectively in front of Naruto. I am Yujito Ni and I am the Jinchuriki of the Nibi no Nikko. Yujito said. Do you want me to carry Naruto with my sand? Gaara asked. That would be helpful. Hana said. Well, we should be going, she said as she backed away while Gaara lifted Naruto up with his sand. Do you mind if I tag along? Yujito asked. I owe him a lot for freeing me from that lab, she added. That wouldn't be up to me, Hana said as she turned to Hinata. I don't care. If she tries anything, I will just beat her down, Hinata said as Yujito's teammates snorted. Did you not listen or something? One of them asked. She is a Jinchuriki. And? Hinata asked as her wings broke through the back of her shirt and were held tightly to her back. Let's get Naruto back to Konoha so Tsunade-sama can heal Naruto-kun, Hinata said. You 3 go back to Kumo and tell Reikage-sama I am going to Konoha, Yujito ordered. Well, tell the Slug Princess to send me a report on him. I owe him a lot too, Oanoki told them as him and his team walked away. 10 days later, late at night, Hokage office, a haggard Tsunade was doing paperwork while the twins were fast asleep on the couch. Ugh, now I know why Hinata-chan is always tired. Those 2 have almost boundless energy, she thought when someone burst into the room. Tsunade-sama Team 8 along with the Sand siblings and a Kumo shinobi just came back. The person exclaimed. They have another person with them, but Gaara has whoever it is encased in sand, he added as her eyes widened and she leapt up from her seat before Shizen walked in with another pile of papers. Shizen, they are back, Tsunade exclaimed. Stay and watch the twins while I go check on them, she ordered before she leapt out the window and was moving towards the main gate. She saw the small entourage walking down the main road towards the hospital. She landed in front of the group. Report quickly, she ordered. Mission. Success, Hana said as Tsunade looked confused. This was an information-gathering mission. Unless. Her thought trailed off as she looked at the ball of sand that was hovering near Tsunade. She trailed off as Hinata nodded with a small smile. Naruto-kun is back, Hinata said quietly. Let me see him, Tsunade ordered as Gaara lowered the sand in front of her, and it opened up to show the unconscious form of Naruto. She saw the barely closed hole in his chest, shocking her. I had to encase him in my sand to keep him from reopening his wound every 15 minutes. Gaara explained to her as her tears started to fall. Bring him to the hospital as fast as possible, she ordered as they all started to move. Several hours later, Tsunade walked out of the surgery room while wiping her hands. She saw everyone was waiting anxiously. He is out of the woods now, but I have no idea when he will wake up, Tsunade said. But he will live, Hinata clarified. Yes, he will. It is just a matter of time before he wakes up, Tsunade told them. I will have to tell the village that their hero is now not dead, she added while rubbing her temples. I need a drink, she mumbled. The next day, everyone was confused as they looked up at the balcony of the Hokage's tower. Even the elders were confused as to why everyone was called. I am glad everyone could make it. Tsunade's voice carried over the crowd, and for the first time in over a year they saw their Hokage smiling. Something amazing has happened last night, she added. Do you all remember when all those windows broke? She asked as she saw the confirmations of everyone. Well, that was caused by a chakra blast from one of our own shinobi. It was felt through the continent, she told them as everyone became confused. Late last night the team I sent out came back, but with an extra Konoha shinobi, she added. I am glad to tell everyone that our own Black Death of Konoha Naruto Namikaze was alive and has returned to us," she exclaimed as everyone became silent. "Although right now he is in a coma and we do not know when he will wake up," she said quietly, but everyone could hear her. Suddenly a loud roar of cheers erupted from the crowd, making Tsunade smile. "You will be shocked when you wake up, Naruto," Tsunade thought as she felt tired. "I am too old to do all-nighters," she added. Chapter 35. 1 month later. In the past month since Naruto's return, life in Konoha was slowly going back to normal. Hinata spent a lot of her time in the hospital with Naruto, talking with him about various things. Sakura would spend some of her downtime from training and missions with Hinata. The two would often find themselves talking to Naruto, seeing if it will help him come back to them. Konohamaru, Moegi, and Udan would always come after school with Irika to see if anything had changed and would often spend hours talking about Naruto's past exploits, and much to Irika's displeasure, Konohamaru was taking down notes. Kakashi would show up at the oddest of hours to check up on Naruto. Gaara had visited Naruto once before he left Konoha back to Suna with his siblings and sensei. Yujito left shortly after Gaara to go back to Kumo. The rest of the Konoha 11 would come at various hours of the day to check up on him. Asuma and Kurenai would often come by to bring Hinata some hospital food. Tuchi and Ayam would come twice a day, once in the early morning and once after closing their stand. Enko would often show up after Irika showed up. Hinata was currently watching her children playing on top of Naruto's bed. "When will you wake up, Naruto-kun?" Hinata thought to herself. What is this wait?" Naruto thought as he felt two squirming things on his legs. "I am not in the forest anymore," he thought as he felt the covers. He slowly opened his eyes and the light burned his eyes. "Ugh, what happened to me?" Naruto asked with a groan. "Naruto Keiyuen," Hinata yelled happily. "What happened to me? Last thing I remember is falling unconscious in the forest," Naruto said as he rubbed his head before he looked at his legs to see two babies. One had bright red hair and the other had bright blonde hair. "Are you babysitting Hinata?" he asked. "And no," Hinata said nervously. "What if he doesn't want kids?" she thought. "They are ours," she said shyly. "Really?" he asked as she nodded. "Awesome!" he exclaimed as Hinata looked at him shocked. "I always wanted a family and now I have one," he added happily, making Hinata smile when the door was thrown off the hinges. "Hey Ka-chan, you are going to have to fix that," Naruto exclaimed as he looked up at the blonde woman who had tears in her eyes. He soon found his head slammed in between her large breasts in a crushing hug. Tsunade-sama. You are turning my boyfriend blue," Hinata said as she promptly released him. "Sorry, Naruto," Tsunade exclaimed as he gasped for breath. "You will kill someone with those hugs," Naruto panted out as all of his friends and senseis started to pile into the room to see the now awake teen. "Hey guys," Naruto said and was crushing in a hug from Sakura. He was shocked as he felt her shake with sobs. "Ah, Sakura, don't cry," Naruto exclaimed nervously while attempting to comfort the crying girl. "Good to see you are awake, Naruto," Kakashi said with his nose in a small orange book with Guy hiding behind him looking afraid at Hinata. He had burst into his room while he was unconscious, screaming something about flames of youth, making Hinata grab him by his spandex and slap him repeatedly with her wings. "Your flames of youth burn brightly," Guy said from over Kakashi's shoulder. Everyone was shocked at his quietness but saw his fearful gaze on Hinata. Thanks?" Naruto questioned as Sakura stopped crying. "You truly are troublesome, Naruto," Shikamaru said. "Munch munch, Naruto, I brought munch you some chips," Choji told him as he handed over a bag of chips right as Naruto's stomach growled angrily. "Thanks, Choji," Naruto said. "Ugh, let me through!" Ino exclaimed as she pushed her teammates and walked in between the two. "Hey Naruto, glad to see you awake," she said happily. "Konoha isn't the same without you," she added as everyone couldn't help but nod. "Brat, if you do this again I will find you and make sure you are dead," Anko threatened lowly. "Anko-chan, you shouldn't do anything stressful," Irika told her pointedly. "Ugh, just because I am pregnant doesn't mean I can't threaten people," she said before turning a playful glare to Irika. "Pregnant?" Naruto asked, shocked. "Oh, you should know all about that," Anko said while smiling at him. "Naruto, I believe we will be having a talk," Hayashi said. "I will juck in your nuts, Naruto," Neji said flatly. "Neji, you will not do that," Hinata said much too sweetly and with a smile that sent a shiver down Neji's back. "Well, I am tired, everyone," Naruto said with a yawn. It is good to see that you are back, brat. A voice said from the window, and everyone turned to see Jiraiya. Hey Ero-sennin, Naruto said as his children started to laugh. Don't call me that, Jiraiya exclaimed. Alright everyone, you should leave. Naruto needs to get some rest, Tsunade said as she ushered everyone but Hinata and the twins out. Hinata picked the twins up before laying down next to Naruto and had the two in between them. Naruto was already out and subconsciously wrapped his arms around Hinata and their children. Unknown to the young parents, a click of a camera went off as the door closed. Hell, I bet they will like this picture, Tsunade thought as she turned to see Jiraiya looking seriously at her. Alright, come on, we can talk in my office, she said with a sigh. Several minutes later, the two were in her office. I have gotten more information on Akatsuki, Jiraiya said. They will start moving to gain the tailed beast in a year and a half, Jiraiya said. And with how Naruto is now, they will most likely come for him now rather than later, he said. What do you suggest we do? Set up more guards? Tsunade asked, but already had a suspicion on what had to be done. I am going to take him out of Konoha, Jiraiya said. You know as well as I do that I can make that boy disappear off the radar, he said. It will take about a week for him to be fully recovered, Swanda told him. That is fine by me, Jiraiya said. So where will you be taking him? Tsunade asked. You know I cannot tell you that, Jiraiya told her as she nodded knowingly and sighed. Just make sure he comes back. And not a pervert, Tsunade ordered. Don't worry, I will, Jiraiya told her. Hinata-chan will not like this, Tsunade mumbled as she pulled a bottle of sake out of her desk and took a large swallow, drinking most of it in the one gulp. Several hours later, Tsunade walked into the room to see Naruto playing with his daughter. She looked sadly at the two. Oh hey Ka-chan, Naruto said as his daughter giggled up at him. What is wrong? He asked, noticing her sad expression. Naruto, in 1 week you will be leaving Konoha on a training mission with Jiraiya, Tsunade said as Hinata's mouth dropped open. What? No! Hinata exclaimed. I just got him back, she added. He won't be gone long, a year and a half at the most, Tsunade said. He needs to go because right now he is the weakest of all the tailed beasts. He can easily be captured by the Akatsuki, she added sadly. I am sorry, she added. There is something I need to tell you, Naruto said. I need Jiraiya's help learning to control Kyuubi's chakra, Naruto added, confusing them. She has fallen unconscious and lost a lot of control over herself, and her Yami side took her over. She is currently slamming against the bars of the cage attempting to escape. So I think it would be good for me to go with Jiraiya, Naruto said, shocking Hinata. Why you want to leave me? Hinata stuttered in a hurt tone. No, I don't want to. It is I need to leave in order to protect Konoha, the future, and most of all to protect our children, Naruto told her as he saw the tears falling down her cheeks. Please don't cry, he told her as he wiped her tears away. I hate seeing her cry, Naruto thought. But you are leaving us, Hinata said as a sob broke through her. Only temporarily, Naruto told her. I will write every chance I get and send a toad to deliver it, he told her. You better, Hinata said quietly but loud enough for him to hear the dangerous tone in it. 1 week later, Naruto had his signature black cloak over his shoulders while standing next to Jiraiya. We should get going, brat, Jiraiya told him. Okay, Ero-sensei, Naruto said as he walked towards Hinata and kissed her forehead, followed by kissing Minato's and Kushina's foreheads. I will be back before you know it, he told Hinata. Goodbye, Naruto-kun, Hinata said before leaning forward and kissed him deeply. Come back soon, Naruto-kun, she whispered into his ear before he pulled the hood up. Goodbye, Konoha, Naruto said as he turned to see that Jiraiya had left before him. Damn it, Ero-sensei, wait up, Naruto yelled as he jogged to catch up with him. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see the next part, don't forget to turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon. Please like, subscribe, and comment below to let me know your thoughts. Check out my other videos for more content you might enjoy. Until next time, take care.